and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread yard work, with a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him! It's a sack!
Sixers.
Oh, baby!
And Flyers. 97.3 ESPN. WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
The opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Finally!
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Memorial Day weekend is here, and you know what? Because it's gloomy outside, there's no better place to be than right here at Boulevard Super Liquors. You know why? Because we are giving away a signed Devontae Smith helmet, as well as a Cooper DeJean jersey. Also, Ted from Bird Gang Spirits is hanging out, giving out tastings. We'll talk with Ted, because Bird Gang Spirits are presenting sponsor today for our broadcast live from Boulevard Super Liquors. So come on down. Again, no purchase necessary in order to sign up for the prize giveaways. But I recommend you get something, Mike, because they literally have something for everyone here at Boulevard Super Liquors.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a vodka or bourbon or anything, they have it for you here. And especially, you know what's great about Super Liquors? This starts the summer, Josh.
Yes.
When you're coming into Ocean City or coming out of Ocean City, you're running around. This is the stop you come to and get ready, not just for this weekend, but for the summer. And they have literally everything you need for any kind of setting. This is the place to be.
Absolutely. And joining us remotely, because he couldn't be here today because, well, kids sports, something that Mike Carlin would know something about. Dave Beyel Jr., of course, he is one of the owners of Boulevard Super Liquors. Dave, you are joining us remotely. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, my man. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you
Perfect.
Loud and clear. So
awesome. We appreciate you guys being here.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. Just let everybody know. Where are you today? Hopefully, it's a little better weather than we're dealing with.
It is not. I am at the Columbia Soccer Invitational down in Bowie, Maryland. I am in a gap here between two games. The South Jersey Surf here won a good one earlier, 9-4, and we got another game here starting in about an hour at 1:00. So we are rain soaked and drying the kids off at a hotel and running right back.
So let's first of all talk about Dave. Obviously, we are here not just because Boulevard Super Liquors is the ultimate place to go for all of your beer, wine, and spirits, but also, Dave, you guys know as well as anyone that being at the foot of the 34th Street Bridge, the summer starts now, no matter what the weather is like out there. So, for you, talk about being a part of basically what people know as not just summertime, but the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're lucky, right? Growing up down there, it's been a lot of fun. My mother's side she's a Corson, so we're down there into the 19th century, dating back that far. And luckily, when my great grandfather and grandmother, my father's father and grandmother moved down from Brooklyn, they opened up the store in 1938. Can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah,
yes.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. They opened up, originally just west of where the Parkway would be built, 1938. And then when the Parkway was scheduled to be built or slated to be developed and built, he had the foresight to move to what would be east of that Parkway between the island and the bridge. So, we're lucky. We love being a part of everybody's summer down there. It's fun anywhere. When I was in real estate working in Philly and everywhere else, you'd you kind of mention it and everybody knows where you're located, just because of the history of Ocean City. And again, just, 4 generations ago, or I guess it was, I'm 4th generation now, having the foresight to put it in in an ideal location.
So Dave, it's Mike. Just to give you an idea, we really didn't know each other until I came in and met you and explained what my idea was by coming here. And what I left with a whole different way of thinking about the family here and Super Liquors. And I told Josh, I said, if you ever want to do business with people, this is the kind of guy and family you want to do business with. Because what I remember the most is when I said, hey, it's a 3-hour show. It's your show. What do you want to promote, this and that? The first thing that came out of your mind, it came out of your mouth, Dave, was, what can we do for Ocean City? They've been good to us, and what can I do for them, kind of thing. And I remember leaving, saying to myself, that really hasn't happened to us. We do a lot of live shows, whether it's casinos or restaurants, and it's all about them. And it just shows, when you just said you were lucky and you fell into the right place. I don't think it's lucky. I think it's doing the right thing for the community, and that's what you've done. I just want to give you a shout out and just say, keep doing what you're doing, because it's the right thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mike. And we look at it, and I look at the way my father taught me to look at it too, is a lot of these family businesses down there, we're all in it together, right? I mean, it's the tourism and all the visitors help keep us going, and obviously we love our locals and love the people who live there year round. But if it wasn't for all these visitors, the majority of those businesses wouldn't be there, right? So we look at it with even our neighboring liquor stores, any of the bars, restaurants, any of the businesses on the island, friends of mine with Douglas Candies, Core Brothers, Goofy Golf, even the printing businesses, that are there. We're kind of all in it together. So we're happy to try and promote them, and love seeing, like, you got, Ted there. He's got a house in Ocean City. I got 2 tequila brands in the building that have owners have homes in Ocean City, Cantera and Salento. And then we got Myers Brewing and Ludlam coming on. They've been great partners and friends. We hold our fantasy football draft, seating at at one of the mini golf courses there. And we have a lot of fun with those guys. They had jitneys going back and forth for Halloween. So it's a really cool network of family businesses and people down there that are there year round. So that's what, you love as much as the summer and being able to be at the beach. It's kind of unique that, we find that the majority of the folks down there like being on the same team, or like helping each other out, because it's that kind of community.
We're talking with Dave Beyel Jr. Of course, he is the owner of Boulevard Super Liquors, 4th generation here on Roosevelt Boulevard, at the foot of Ocean City, 34th Street Bridge. Yeah, it's cloudy, it's miserable outside, but it's a perfect reason to come down to stock up for the weekend. But let's be realistic. You're not going to the beach today.
Right.
So if you're going to be stuck in the house, you might as well have some Bird Gang spirits with you to keep you company. Speaking of the Birds, Dave, I got to ask you, how are you feeling about the Birds this season?
I'm feeling probably overly confident, like everybody is every year. I feel good about them. I think they got a good thing going, and they got a good core group of guys, and you can keep that going. You're going to be in good shape. Some of the draft picks are interesting. I think, hopefully whatever happens with our boy AJ Brown, who, has given us a lot, works out, in our favor, and we can take some steps forward with this new offense that are going to be exciting to watch.
It's funny because we all know AJ Brown's getting traded. It's just a consequence of where we know when it's going to be. It's going to be after June 1st. How do you feel as an Eagles fan about that? Because listen, Dave, I talk about this stuff all the time. But I always love to hear people who are not people like me and Mike who are talking about on the radio. How do you feel about this whole AJ Brown saga?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate. Obviously you want everybody to be happy, but I think it's hard to separate being a college athlete myself, where you're just like, hey, anything you can do to help the team, versus these guys are professionals and they're doing this to support their families and whatever other things they, want to do in their lives. So it's a bit of a different dynamic. So that's something I try to keep in mind. But hey, we were at training camp last year. My son was yelling at AJ. He waved at him 3 or 4 times. He seems like it. Yeah, it was great. By the 3rd time, AJ just shook his head. He's like, "I'm done waving at you, kid." So, it's I wish him the best. Hopefully that Devontae can step up, and we got some other wide receivers we're grabbing. So, hopefully we can. He's got big shoes to fill, but hopefully we'll be all right. And hopefully he ends up. He's done enough for us. We got a Super Bowl there, so. hopefully he ends up at a spot where, he's, productive and helpful, except for when he plays the Birds.
David, Mike again. Give me an idea of what the summertime is like for you. I know this is the kickoff weekend, but then after that, you got the 4th of July, you got the night in Venice, and then Labor Day at the end. Does one weekend stand out others more than the others, or are they all about the same?
Yeah, the fourth is always the biggest, and where that falls always affects us too. This year it'll be a monster 2 days, Friday, Saturday, because it's on a Saturday. But other weeks, if it's a Thursday or a Tuesday, you end up getting even a longer weekend. So the mass customer influx is great, but it's spread out over 4 days instead of 2. 4th of July is the biggest. Night in Venice is always a great, great time. That's Ocean City, more focused. But this year we're lucky, right? We have a pretty long summer. So for us, we're looking at it's an early Memorial Day. Labor Day is pretty late. So everybody gets a whole extra week of summer, and early September, late August is some of the best weather you could ask for. So this year it'll be exciting. We just hope for sunny weekends. So everybody's coming down and, hopefully they're thirsty.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, we appreciate you making some time. I know you're busy with the kids out there, so safe travels back home. Enjoy the weekend, and thanks again for allowing us to come down here and broadcast Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN for Boulevard Super Liquors.
I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy Frank today. He's got the NASCAR driver with him from Frank's Way. That'll be interesting too. That'll be really cool.
Yep, Frank will be joining us coming up at 1 o'clock here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Also, Ted from Bird Gang Spirits will join us coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig hanging with you on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. And that kind of leads us into the conversation because we're here to talk about the Birds. People come down, they can win a Devontae Smith signed helmet or a Cooper DeJean jersey thanks to Bird Gang Spirits, the official spirits of the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, we are the home of the Philadelphia Eagles here in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. It's a lot of symmetry going on here, Mike Carlin. So I got to ask you, okay?
Ready.
Let's talk about the Eagles. It was very convenient that the Eagles dropped their schedule a week before we were here. So nice of them, right?
Nice? Yeah, very
it's
nice.
So nice of them to cooperate
Timing, Josh.
with
Timing.
this show. I love it. What's you ever seen the show A-Team?
Yeah.
Hannibal. I love when a plan comes together.
Yeah. That's what this is.
So you and I have talked about the schedule in the past, and there have been years that you've looked at the schedule and you've been like, hey, I like this schedule. I don't like this schedule. So first, how was your feel about the schedule? Because you and I have kind of gone back and forth about the schedule over the years.
I thought the schedule was a normal schedule for me. I think when you get to the level where the Eagles are, we don't have to worry about having an easy schedule.
Right.
I mean, every year we're playing the top teams, and we should. We're a top team. I like it that we don't have to do too much travel. I know we have, we go out west, but it's not like there's certain teams, Josh, they're all over the place, and we're not. I like having a couple of the national games because I think the players, I know this sounds crazy, but no one's going to tell me that a player doesn't play there's a little bit more
juice. Yeah.
Juice when it's a Monday night, a Sunday night, or a Thursday night kind of thing than a 1 o'clock game at home. I know it's a home game, they get up for it, but I think and when you see how many times we're doing that, I actually love the schedule. We'll go over the wins and losses throughout the show here, but I think it's going to be a very great season. I'll give you a little clip of what we'll talk about later.
Sure, yeah.
I think our division comes down to 2 teams. And I know we have a lot of Dallas fans in this area for whatever reason.
Too many.
I don't know why.
Too many.
But as crazy as it sounds, this could be the year that they really scare us.
Well, to me, there's a reason why. There's a very, very specific reason why that you're right. It's because for those who maybe not been tracking, maybe even distracted by the Flyers and the Sixers or watching the Phillies lose the game they should have won last night, which has really made me mad. But I digress. It's the fact that the Cowboys hired as their defensive coordinator, your former defensive backs coach. They hired somebody who was one of your people, who knows your system, your people, your organization. The hiring of Christian Parker by the Dallas Cowboys is such a game changer for the Cowboys because it's the first time that Dallas has actually went out and grabbed somebody that can have a legitimate, tangible impact on game day. Because most games, it comes down to the players, right?
Correct.
Most games come down to the players' execution. But over the years, Philadelphia has had the coaching edge over the Cowboys. The Cowboys have not had a legitimate coach who was on par with the Eagles since, Bill Parcells in the mid-2000s? That's 20 years ago. So to me, the hiring of Christian Parker is the moment that was like, oh boy,
Yeah,
here we go.
Now they're in the process of talking about them, and also their picks. The draft they did very well.
Well, they draft pretty well every year.
Okay,
I will give the Cowboys credit. They do a good job at drafting. They've done that for years. Now, part of it is because Jerry, for as bombastic as he is, has allowed the football people to do football. So for as much as we make fun of Jerry, he's Jerry. He says all the crazy stuff that he says. He'll drop a cuss word in the middle of a press conference, and people like me are trying to censor it back in the studio. But the reality is that Jerry says to his football people, "Do your job. I'm going to let you do your job."
They did it this year because, again, a lot of times, like you said, Dallas does okay, if not a little better than okay when it comes to the draft.
Right.
This year, I thought that was an A, if not an A. I mean, Downs coming out of Ohio State is the safety that they needed. He's there for life. He's going to be one of those players.
And don't forget, again, the defensive coordinator is a former defensive backs coach.
Yeah.
So you don't think he had a say in that?
Right. I mean, he coming out of college, he was the number one safety. He goes to Dallas. Then they needed an edge. Not only do they get one great edge, they get two. The guy from UCF and the guy from Michigan, Lawrence, and they got. But I think the steal for them was in the 4th round, 12th pick in the 4th round. Okay, they took Shelton from Penn State. I'm a Penn State guy.
Yes, you are.
Offensive tackle. Again, under the radar for a lot of teams. I don't know why he's waited to the 4th. I thought for sure he was going in 2nd or beginning of 3rd.
His technique's a little sloppy. That's why he's a bit of a project.
They'll coach him, but that's going to be a good steal coming out.
Listen, he has all the. You're right. He has all the physical ability, but his footwork and his punch is weakened. We got Eric over here from Ocean City High School.
Yes.
You're an offensive lineman. When I say the word, you gotta have good punch, right? You gotta have good technique, right? That's something. Well, I wasn't gonna put him on, but all right, we'll throw him.
Well, if you ask him a question, we gotta ask.
Well, really quick, when you hear me talking about an offensive lineman, bring that thing up a little bit. There you go. So when an offensive line needs to have good punch, he needs to have good point of attack, get his hands on the other guy, right?
Yeah, it's all about getting your hands on first. You gotta get your steps, get your hands on first, and you'll win the rep. It's as simple as that. If you get your hands on and you have a strong base, you're gonna win. But if you have bad hands and even worse feet, you're losing every time. So definitely have to clean up technique.
So when I hear the national guys talking about the length of their arms, that's really something there.
So
it is and it isn't. Really quick, if I can jump in, because I'm gonna set you up. Because part of it is it not. It's not just the length of your arm; it's how you're angling your arm, right?
That's true, but I think arm length is so important, especially a tackle, because of the speed on the edge.
Right.
You have to be able to take a vertical set.
Right.
But then also get that punch first. So you're still winning. And you have to, with NFL speed on the edge, you have to be able to stop them where they are. And if you don't get your hands on first and you don't have a good punch,
right,
it's impossible to stop an NFL edge rusher.
And that's part of the problem with Shelton is that Shelton is a guy who his hands are not always in the right place when the snap is. His hands will be too high or they'll be too low, or he'll do the thing where a guy gets too far into him and now he's like fumbling himself.
Yeah, well, so definitely in pass pro, you want to keep that separation, but if it comes in close, you just have to be able to lock on.
Right.
And if your hands aren't in the right spot, you can't lock on. You need to be in the chest plate. So your punch, you want your punch in the chest plate because then it'll pop them up, and then that ruins a D lineman's pad level.
Yep.
And if they have bad pad level, they can't win a rep.
Right, because low man wins.
Exactly. It's all about the leverage.
The only reason I know any of this is because I had to play. I was a blocking running back.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm shorter than you. So, obviously I wasn't an offensive lineman, but, one of the things, I got pretty good at is you take your fist and you put them under the guy's pad, hey, you can't be called for holding if you're not grabbing anybody, right?
And we only have a couple seconds. Give us a pick of where you're going. You're a senior? Where are you heading next?
Senior. I'm going to Dickinson College, and I'm playing there.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate you helping us out today here with the broadcast. Boulevard Super Liquors here on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the 34th Street Ocean City Bridge. Hanging with Hennig along with Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. So really quick, what was the other team that you said you were worried about? You said the Cowboys were one. What was the other one?
You never know with Hellbar now with the Giants. I thought the Giants were going in the right direction. I don't know if Washington is. I thought Washington was.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one team over the other right now, I'd go with the Giants just because of the coach and the quarterback. I think just that overall, our division, to me, it's the Eagles, Dallas, Giants, Washington. And I think the Dallas is just as close as the Eagles as they've ever been.
Well, we got a lot of Eagles talk to get through throughout the show. We also had, for the first time, Sean Mannion spoke to the media this week for the first time ever as the Eagles offensive coordinator. Now, I will admit, he spent 20 of 25 minutes bloviating like a good politician and a good friend of Nick Sirianni would. But he still has some interesting things to say. And, of course, Vic Fangio, I mean, that dude was born with truth serum. He has some interesting things to say. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. Of course, we are here. Come on down, Boulevard Super Liquors, Roosevelt Boulevard, at the foot of the 34th Street Ocean State Bridge. Listen, it's not a beach day. Come on down, stock up for the weekend, because this way you are coming to the best liquor store at the shore in South Jersey. They have literally everything you can think of. Whatever your taste is, beer, wine, tequila, maybe you're a gin person. I don't know. Whatever your thing is, they got it here. This is the best selection in South Jersey. And, of course, Burgang Spirits will be doing tasting with here until 1 o'clock. We'll be joined by 10 in just a bit. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Don't forget, Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards, because every bet you place gives you opportunities to win prizes like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more, because Caesars Sportsbook always delivers. Getting started is simple. Download the app, use my promo code RADIO, DYW, then place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. Rule your play with Caesars Sportsbook. Open to new users in New Jersey are 21 or older. Max bet $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And speaking of Caesars rewards, the best place to take those Caesars perks is Tropicana, Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th. It's the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history. 2 undefeated heavyweights from South Jersey are going head-to-head. Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper taking on Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr. Also on the fight card is New Jersey super bantamweight John Leonardo, along with Pleasantville super lightweight Julio Sanchez III. They are both back in action inside Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Do not miss out. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. So when you get those Caesars Sportsbook rewards, you can take them to Tropicana in Atlantic City Saturday, June 13th for the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey history. Selden Jr. versus Josh Popper, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City Saturday, June 13th, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions. He's Mike Carlin. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge here in Upper Township on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. And we are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Real Day on ESPN Radio. 2 rivals collide in an NL Central. Center field, and it's a Jordan Walker grand slam. Jordan Walker leads the St. Louis Cardinals into American Family Field to go head-to-head with Jake Bauers and the Milwaukee Brewers. Jake Bauers, Cardinals and Brewers. Coverage begins Memorial Day at 1:30 Eastern. With first pitch at 2:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to Major League Baseball all season on 97.3 ESPN.
Planning a graduation party? A summer family gathering? Memorial Day weekend mixer. The one-stop shop where I go is Boulevard Super Liquors, located on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, if you're traveling down the Garden State Parkway, Boulevard Super Liquors is within minutes of exit 25. So you can jump off the exit and get back on the road within minutes. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey. These are just some of the reasons why my favorite stop is Boulevard Super Liquors, with the best selection at the Jersey Shore. Visit them on Instagram and Facebook to learn more about upcoming tasting events. Boulevard Super Liquors on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog, or the Mary Ann sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
Why keep searching? Your next vehicle is waiting at Bridgeton Auto Mall. Right now, take advantage of big savings on a huge selection of new and quality pre-owned SUVs, sedans, and trucks, all priced to move. At Bridgeton Auto Mall, there's no pressure, just a team that treats you like family and helps you find the right vehicle at the right price. And don't forget, our expert service department is here to keep your car running like new. Don't wait. Drive to Bridgeton Auto Mall today. Sales service satisfaction, 808 North Pearl Street, Bridgeton, or drivebam.com.
Your summer starts now with Memorial Day deals at the Home Depot. It's time to fire up summer cookouts with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill on special buy for only $199. And entertain all season with the Hampton Bay West Grove 7-piece outdoor dining set for only $499. This Memorial Day, get low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. While supplies last, pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See HomeDepot.com/price match for details.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet every game like a Caesar and earn perks on every bet. Hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, all in one app. Download the app with promo code RADIODYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bet. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. It's time to spring into performance at Key Acura of Atlantic City. Go see my guy Rocco and see for yourself why they're South Jersey's largest ADX volume dealer. And now through May 31st, you can lease a sleek, sporty 2026 Acura Integra for just $199 a month for 36 months. Get to Key Acura, Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township, or visit KeyAcuraofAtlanticCity.com. Go see what all the excitement is about. Key Acura, the small but friendly dealer. See dealer for details.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Greg A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess. Don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit GregAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
You blitz all night.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios, along with Mike Carlin. We are live here at the Boulevard Super Liquors at the foot of the 34th Street Ocean City Bridge. It is a perfect day to come down and stock up for the weekend. That's part of the reason why we are grateful to be giving away a Devontae Smith signed helmet as well as a Cooper Jean jersey presented by Bird Gang Spirits. And we got Ted joining us from Bird Gang Spirits today. Ted, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. So I think one of the things that we want to point out is that this is not just Bird Gang Spirits, but you are proud partners of the Philadelphia Eagles.
We sure are. We're going into our fourth season with the Eagles, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Looking into the season ahead, we think we're gonna have a fun fall coming forward.
Now, talk to us a little bit about Bird Gang Spirits. Obviously, you know, when people see birds and eagles, they get excited, right? You know,
Sure
for
do.
obvious reasons. You know, I'm sure you've been at an event which just yell at you, "Go Birds," and keep walking, right? You know, but you know, talk about what makes Bird Gang Spirits special.
Well, first off, just being a partner with the Philadelphia Eagles makes it special right there. But these are all handcrafted, bottled by us in our Pennsylvania, Philadelphia distillery.
Okay.
We handpick every year. The label changes. So NFL rules require us to commemorate something in the history of the team. So if you have seen Bird Gang Spirits out there, you'll know that every season you get to collect something new and try something new and a new blend of
So it's more than just great spirits. It's also a collector's item that people can literally maybe if they're a man cave or something, right?
Exactly.
They
right.
can sit there and be like, "Hey, I got a new bourbon every single year."
Yep. And this year we're going to be releasing a very special commemoration for Veterans Stadium. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Now, talk about each of, we mentioned, handcrafted each one.
Yep.
So we have the bourbon. We have what else? Talk about each one.
So we have a bourbon. We have a vodka, which is 100% corn vodka, gluten-free.
Okay.
Distilled 3 times. And we have 2 really good tequilas, a silver tequila and a spicy habanero tequila, which makes a great spicy marg if you like those types of drinks. Super stuff.
Now, well, first of all, I'm more of a clear tequila guy personally.
Okay.
That would be, Carlin, are you a spicy tequila guy?
I'm a rum guy all the way.
We make a rum. We made a Brazilian.
we
We
go.
made a Brazilian rum to honor the game we
game?
played in Brazil. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
I drink everything.
We
so
also have out there, if you can find it still, we have a collaboration we did with Rita's. We made a margarita, a mango margarita, a mango water ice, and a black cherry water ice.
Oh, that's
That'd
exciting.
be really good.
Now you got people's attention listening on 97.3 ESPN. Again, you can come down to Bird Gang Spirits. We are giving away the Cooper DeJean signed jersey as well as the Devontae Smith signed helmet.
Yep.
You just got to come down. No purchase necessary. Just sign up. But again, if you buy a Bird Gang Spirits bottle,
We've got some cool T-shirts we're giving away too, so you can walk away with a fun memento from here. Yep.
there you go. So let's talk about the Eagles. Let's talk about the Birds, okay? Last year was a disappointing year. It was a letdown by the end of the year. So what do? They do the thing they do every year. They have disappointing year. They fire somebody, right? They fired the offensive coordinator. Was that enough?
I hope so, but I don't know if the offensive coordinator was the real problem.
Okay.
I think what's going to be interesting what happens with AJ. I mean, obviously he's not traded yet, but I think it's going to happen in another week, right? June 1st is
June
coming
1st.
up.
Yep.
So that's obvious. And I'm excited. I think the new offensive coordinator will come in. We'll say, Jalen's had a different offensive coordinator every year in his career.
Yep.
With college and NFL. So hopefully this new coordinator is going to fit, and we'll be right back at it.
I just hope he's here for more than 1 year.
I do too.
Because part of the problem is that they win the Super Bowl with Kellen Moore, he gets a job.
Yep.
They go to the Super Bowl with Steichen, he gets a
Good
job. And listen, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from advancing their professional growth, but
Consistency would be nice.
It would be nice
Yeah.
because even go back to college, he had a different coordinator every single year in college, which if you think about it, over the course of a 10-year period, Jalen Hurts had 9 different coordinators.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And well, I think part of the problem last year too is our offensive line broke down a little bit. We had a lot of injury there, and so hopefully we're going to have a little more stabilized line. Everyone seems to be healthy coming back. So,
and if we do lose Brown, I mean, getting Lemon in the draft,
huge.
And you have Smith. Huge. Smith will take another jump up.
And don't forget they traded for Dontavian Wicks too.
Yeah.
So I think the wide receiver
room changed completely.
And with my son going to Vanderbilt, I was a big SEC Vanderbilt guy. Getting what's his name, the tight end,
Eli Stowers.
Yep. Guys, he's really good.
Well, listen, Alex, who's producing back in the studio, doing a great job for me and Billy Schweim, the locker room earlier on 97.3 ESPN. He's been hearing me talk about Eli Stowers for about 5 months now.
Really good.
And I when the draft pick happened, I was almost like, Howie must have been listening to us on 97.3 ESPN, because Stowers is a perfect fit, not just because he's a phenomenal athlete, but he's also a former quarterback. He's a quarterback who became a tight end.
Yep.
So he looks at the field differently. And let's not forget, there's a lineage with the Eagles, okay? Before Dallas Goedert, there was Zach Ertz. Before Zach Ertz, there was Brent Selleck. Before Brent Selleck, there was L.J. Smith. And before L.J. Smith, it was Chad Lewis. So
that's right.
there is a lineage of you got to draft the next guy, as you mentioned, groom him, develop him, prepare him to be the guy. And you know what? Let's give Dallas Goedert some credit, because he could have gone on the free agent market this year, gotten a lot of money. He took a bit of a discount to come back to Philadelphia.
Sure did. He's a great player, and I'm glad he did that.
Mike, we talked about the stability when it comes to the coordinator position. You're someone who's coached basketball over the years. For you, how important from a coaching perspective is having the people on the staff being consistent?
Huge. And the easiest way I tell people about this, when you look at the elite guys, especially in college, remember when Nick was coaching in Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
He had no problem going out and getting other head coaches that were fired or whatever, because he knew they were good, and he had no problem having them as his assistants.
Yep.
And that's why they all went everywhere. I mean, the coach will, what do they always say? I'm only as good as my players.
Right.
Well, he can't make every player good. It's his assistants that are making these players good,
Yeah.
day in and day out. So you have to have the assistants to be able to do it.
Well, it's like Bird Gang Spirits. You know, Ted, you are not sitting there making every single bottle yourself.
Correct.
You know, there's not one person doing everything. The success of Bird Gang Spirits and the product is you entrust other people to be able to do their jobs.
Exactly right. Exactly. We have a great sales team, and then we work with great partners like the gang here at Boulevard Liquor.
Talking about that, I mean, Bird Gang's really, 4 years old?
4 years, going on our fourth
So
season.
think about where they've gone. Did you think in 4 years it's just going to be? It wasn't like, hey, we'll get with the Eagles and we'll see what happens. Now, down to all the other teams that we have.
It's become a brand. It's grown into we've grown into partnerships.
In 4 years.
Yeah, in 4 years.
And now not just the NFL. Now we're in the NBA.
Right. And NBA and NHL.
I mean, you're growing at a track, and again, it comes back to the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and who's coming on to the team to take it to the next level.
And that's why hiring these coaches matters. And that was part of my gripe with Kevin Matullo last year, because of the fact that you had someone who didn't have experience in the job. You're asking him to do something he's never done before in his life. So you already have that hurdle. You have the hurdle of a team that just won a championship. You're coming off of that level of expectation. And then he's the guy everybody likes. Everybody was friends with him. He was the light guy in the building. So the moment things didn't go well, everyone came to his defense, and maybe there wasn't enough of a friction when it came to, hey, dude, like, for example, you hire somebody, Ted, a Bird Gang Spirits, right? Hey, I need you to go to a tasting, right? Well, if that person, drops a bottle, are you going to say, hey, man, you're such a nice person. Yeah, I'm not going to be too upset. You're going to say, no, don't do that again, right?
Sure.
And part of the problem last year was everybody was being just way too nice about everything. And I think that it created an environment.
I completely agree.
Where it never could get better.
They tiptoed around everything. Never wanted to bring it to the front of it.
And of course, then you get the passive aggressive AJ Brown. That whole situation. Now, I thought Dave Jr. brought up a good point earlier, the owner of here at Boulevard Super Liquors, Dave Beyel Jr. He mentioned he said, as a former athlete, he said it annoyed him that this wasn't a guy who was just being like, look, I'm just going to, put my head down and do my job. So I thought that was an interesting perspective because I don't we always talk about that, which is, the AJ Brown drama. It wasn't just drama. It was the fact that football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah, but it was drama.
Always too much.
There was too much drama.
And it just happened to be a wide receiver. What do you know?
Yeah. What do you know? Well, but I will say, you never hear drama with Devontae Smith.
No.
That's why I give away this Devontae Smith signed helmet.
and for Brown, I brought this up the last time we did a live show. You remember when he had to talk with the owner, with Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Never heard nothing from him.
The rest of the year.
Until after the season started.
Right. Well, first he disappeared at the end of the season. He didn't show up for the exit interviews with the media or the team.
No.
And then he conveniently goes to Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and he doesn't do any media except for 2 podcasts, Micah Parsons' podcasts and Rob Gronkowski's podcast.
Yep.
He goes on Micah's podcast and looks like he doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the most disinterested in the world. So it's like, okay, dude, like, why are you even there?
Yeah.
Like, was it really worth that much money for you to show up and do this? And then he goes on Gronk and Edelman's podcast, and he passive aggressively says he wants to be a Patriot. So, I mean, no one's going to like you at that point. You're creating an environment where you're making people dislike you more. And then you have that whole 10-minute rant he did on social media where he's talking about mental health coming from the guy who sits there and complains about his job every day, making millions of dollars. That's not a very good example of mental health.
But I can tell you something. Having a brother that's lived in Boston now for 40 years, they can't wait till he gets there.
Of course.
The fans will eat him up, and the locker room will eat him up. If you're a player on that team and you got a chance to bring Brown in, and he has a little bit of a package, there's certain teams that can get around that and say, this is how we do it here. This may not be the Eagles, but I think the Eagles are really good at how they control their team too.
But the players do like A.J. Brown. He is very much beloved in that locker room. So that's not the issue.
And the coach. Remember, the coach knows them inside out.
Well, in New England, right? Because Vrabel drafted him. He scouted him. He drafted him. So that helps as well. It's just that this whole dumb friction between him and Jalen Hurts, it's just, Jalen Hurts is supposed to be the godfather of his child, and then Jalen doesn't get invited to A.J. Brown's wedding, and it's like, what's going on here?
But it does make you wonder what's going on between those two. That was their relationship part of the problem.
Well, that's why you heard people like, people like Nick Foles on his podcast, Kurt Warner on his podcast, Brian Baldwin on NFL Network. They all point out that A.J. Brown was quitting on routes last year. Hurts is throwing him the ball, and then he's not doing his job.
He didn't show up in the playoff game this year either.
Nope. So, you know what? I say, go to New England.
Time to move on.
Have a good life. Move on.
I agree.
Ted, before we let you go, do you have a prediction for the Eagles season?
I think they're going to be back-to-back division champs. I guess it'll be back-to-back division champs.
Yeah, 3 straight.
3 straight. And I think we were just talking about records here. I think 11-6, 12-5, something like that. It's going to be a good year for them.
It's a great year.
Yep.
For this schedule, it's going to be a great year.
All right, so one more time, I tell everybody about Bird Gang Spirits. They can come down here to Boulevard Super Liquors, grab a bottle today, but also all summer long.
All summer long, we'll be here. Come down and sample if you're around today. We'll be here till 3 o'clock and giving away some T-shirts and having some fun.
Awesome, Ted. Appreciate you jumping on
with
with us.
Appreciate it.
And we appreciate you helping us give away these great prizes. Again, the Devontae Smith signed helmet as well as the signed Cooper DeJean jersey, but you must come down to Boulevard Super Liquors in order to win these great prizes. Josh here, along with Mike Carlin, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile ad powered by First Bank of Seattle. Don't forget, hanging with Hennig being brought to you by my friends over at law offices of Craig A. Altman, because you know what? You need to have a game plan if you get injured. And you know what? If you get injured, the insurance companies, they have a plan. You know what that plan is? That plan is to deny, delay, and pay as little as possible. And, it's Memorial Day weekend, okay? And I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on anyone, okay? But maybe you have a little bit too much fun this weekend. Maybe the property you're at is not what you were told it was going to be. Maybe just a bad situation happens. Maybe you're driving your family home this weekend and someone rear ends you. If you got to make sure that if you get injured, you have the law firm on your side that has a game plan. You need the tough lawyers to handle the tough cases. And they're located right here in South Jersey on Delsey Drive in Violent, 856-327-8899. For the law offices of Craig A. Altman, you got to have a game plan if something happens to you and your family. Car accident, slip and fall, workplace injury. 856-327-8899 or visit them online at craigaltmanlaw.com. Also, don't forget, we have the Ivy Rehab Injury Report coming up here on 97.3 ESPN. We are going to get into what on earth is going on with Aiden Miller and his back injury. This whole thing is absolutely perplexing. We're going to get into that with Dr. Alan Stepney coming up at 1:25 today. But more Eagles talk on the other side. Plus, you guys can text in 609-403-0973. Your thoughts on the Eagles' upcoming season, your feelings on Mannion and Fangio. We'll get some of that audio a little bit later in the show. And again, you must come down the Boulevard Super Liquors or to sign up and win. No purchase is necessary, but you must come down and sign up in order to win the prize giveaways, the Devontae Smith helmet, the Cooper DeJean jersey, both signed, and they're here thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. We are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
There's so much to discover in Seattle. For one delicious weekend, our local restaurants are showcasing their best flavors and creative specials. From casual bites to sit-down dinners, there's something for everyone. Places you already love and others you've been meaning to try. Dine in. Try something new. Visit your favorites. Sea Isle Restaurant Weekend, June 5th through the 7th.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
For over 22 years, Riptide Bait and Tackle has been the go-to spot for anglers of every level. You've got everything you need, including fresh bait, the largest selection of gulp in South Jersey, crabbing supplies, rods, reels, tackle, apparel, and more. Even famous stocks pound canes. Riptide is a Shimano top shelf dealer and a Penn Gold Label dealer, plus home of the famous Riptide Rodders. Follow Riptide Bait and Tackle on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for daily fishing reports. And stop in before your next trip.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Little moments become big memories at Sesame Place, Philadelphia. Giggle out loud on rolling rides and splashy water slides. Sing and dance at exciting shows and the Sesame Street Party Parade. Get hugs and high fives from everyone's favorite furry friends and enjoy exciting special events and activities all season long. It goes by fast, so make memories last. Now through May 31st, save up to 45% on tickets and season passes at sesameplace.com/Philadelphia.
Come celebrate Ventnor Social's 1-year anniversary. Down Beach's go-to place for game days. No shower happy hours, beach nights, live music, great food, cold drinks, and being social. From cheering on Phillies baseball team and other sports action on their 20 big screen TVs, to enjoying a cold beverage on the roof deck, to playing an arcade game. Plus, game day food and wing specials. Celebrate Ventnor Social, Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor. Check out their Facebook page for the latest specials and events.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need a new car? It's got to be a matte black Kia.
26 matte black Kia Sportage, $139 per month. All new 2027 matte black Kia Telluride, $299 per month. Plus, get up to $3,000 over KBB fair market value for any trade.
Matte black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike,
Egg Harbor Township, or matteblackkia.com.
It's got to be a matte black Kia.
24 months lease is $59.99 US sign. Call 888-506-4132 for details. Offers don't combine. Expires month end.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
The biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history is at Tropicana Showroom Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th, when undefeated Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper takes on undefeated Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr., plus New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo and Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III are both back in action inside Tropicana Atlantic City Showroom. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com for this can't-miss boxing event, Saturday, June 13th, Selden Jr. versus Popper, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
People will come, Ray.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
People will most definitely come.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the 34th Street Ocean City Bridge, along with Mike Carlin here joining me for Memorial Day weekend here on 97.3 ESPN. This is a happening place today. I mean, all kinds of people.
Jumping.
Well, first of all, I always laugh at the number of people Mike Carlin knows. Just like the random, the random plethora of people that will walk in and be like, I know you, and the whole the finger pointing. I know a couple people here and there, but you're like the mayor. You're over here, like you know all these people. But we're excited to be coming up at the 1 o'clock hour. We'll be joined by Frank from Let's Be Frank, along with NASCAR driver Craig Pellegrino Jr. So we had lots coming up on the show, plus the Ivy Rehab injury report in the next hour, all that and more here on 97.3 ESPN. Text board as well at 609-403-0973. And I always laugh at some of these texts, Mike, because the listeners to 97.3 ESPN, there's two kinds of listeners. Okay.
Ones that know it all and ones that know nothing.
There's the listener who sits there and says, hey, I'm enjoying this conversation. There's the other person who texts in, doesn't leave their name, and just wants to complain.
Okay.
Anonymous texter at 609-403-0973. The Eagles do not stand a chance this season. I'm a longtime South Jersey resident and fan of them, but it's all over. This team is losing all credibility. Now, first of all, that person is anonymous because nobody in their right mind would say that. What exactly have the Eagles done to lose credibility? Okay. Like, it's one of those deals where it's like, what exactly, like, give me more information. Yeah. Like, that's the person who walks down the street and says somebody, hey, you stink. And it's like, why?
Yeah. I agree. It's just someone, he's a fan of somebody else. That's all.
Well, he says he's a fan of the Eagles. Well, obviously you're not a fan if you say the team is losing credibility. Okay. Nothing is over. Okay. I'm so tired of this attitude. Listen,
I would say, do you not like the ownership? The ownership's a great ownership. Does whatever the team can need.
The Eagles have done more winning under Jeffrey Lurie than they ever did before Jeffrey Lurie became
we have a quarterback. You may not like the quarterback, but we have a quarterback that a lot of teams out there would love to have. So how are we going backwards?
Yeah, I don't think you're going backwards at all.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is that you're just somebody who wants to text in and complain.
Well,
by the way, the guy texted, his name is Daniel. All right, Daniel. Well, thank you for putting your name on it. But here's the thing. There's nothing that the Eagles have lost credibility.
Give us some bullet points. When you send a text like that, expand exactly what you mean by that.
I'm not saying you got to be.
And then we may say, hey, he's right.
I'm not saying you got to be Steven Bentner and give me a full list of 20 trades, but I'm just saying, give me a little something to have a conversation about.
Back it up.
I don't mind somebody disagreeing with me, but if you're going to disagree with me, give me a little something. Give me a little juice. Give me a little, talking point. All right, hanging with Hennig here, 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. You can win a Devontae Smith signed helmet or a Cooper DeJean jersey, but you must come down to sign up. We will announce the winner coming up at the end of the broadcast. On the other side, more hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Frank from Let's Be Frank will be joining us, along with Craig Pellegrino, the NASCAR driver from Buena, New Jersey. Also, the Ivy Rehab injury report coming up in about 35 minutes from now. All that and more still to come on 97.3 ESPN.
This weekend in the locker room with Billy Fly, producer Alex Berardis and my intern Aaron Ewing will be with me. We'll be giving away a Porta Bartone Flyers jersey, courtesy of Pro Image Sports. To be eligible to win, you must go to last Sunday's podcast and tell us what grade did Flyers GM Danny Briere give head coach Rick Tocchet. Send us the text with the correct answer, and we'll pick a winner on Sunday's show. Memorial Weekend starts the Beach Patrol Report. Mr. Negadelphia, Fran McLaughlin, Jack Brooks, Dan Adams, and Tommy Green. It's Memorial Weekend in the locker room, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN.
If your idea of a great vacation is lounging on a beach and going out to dinner, I have to admit I'm right there with you. But since we're usually eating a little more than usual, it's not a bad idea to get a little extra physical activity during our trip. We can work it into the vacation by walking or bicycling to do some sightseeing. We could book a hotel with a gym. Or another option, pack some fitness bands in our suitcase. They're lightweight, versatile, and a terrific way to do some resistance training right in our rental home or hotel room. And of course, there's a huge selection of online workouts that require little or no equipment. Staying active on vacation increases our energy and helps us sleep better. Not to mention, it burns some calories. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update. Hi, it's Robin Stoloff, and I'll be moderating the free NJ Healthy Aging Summit, Opioid Safety and Alternatives, Friday, June 5th at the Golden Nugget. Reserve now at njhealthyaging.org. Sponsored by the Partnership for a Drug-Free New Jersey, funding from the Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this.
Everyone's happy, beers keep coming, tails piled high with friends and family, spirits to the sky.
Hey guys, it's Mike Gill for Clark's Moving and Storage down in Rio Grande. Let me tell you, we did a huge move not too long ago, and honestly, Clark's did a fantastic job. I mean, really fantastic. They moved all my stuff from my Ventnor place on the shore out to the mainland in EHT. Clark's Moving and Storage, they took care of it all from start to finish. Trust their moving company with the finest in storage and moving services. They're one of the largest companies in the area, and you can trust them. Believe me, they got it all done, moved everything, not a scratch, not a dent, not anything. On time, professional. They really did it all. I felt very comfortable and very confident in their team at Clark's Moving and Storage every step of the way. So do what I did and use Clark's Moving for your big move. Call them today, 609-889-0780, or visit them at clarksmoving.net. Clark's Moving is an authorized agent for Wheaton Worldwide Moving, so they can move you across the country or even around the world.
Need a new car and have no idea. It's got to be a matte black Kia.
26 matte black Kia Sportage, $139 per month. All new 2027 matte black Kia Telluride, $299 per month. Plus, get up to $3,000 over KBB fair market value for any trade.
Matte black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township,
Or matteblackkia.com.
It's got to be a matte black Kia.
24 months leases, $59.99 US sign. Call 888-506-4132 for details. Offer still combined. Expires month 10.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank God I'm again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Just in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors, hour 2 of the broadcast here. Of course, you can still have time to come down to sign up to win a Devontae Smith signed helmet or a Cooper DeJean signed jersey. We will be here until 3 o'clock. That's when we'll announce the grand prize winners. Also, if you come down and sign up, you can get a 97.3 ESPN koozie, but no purchase necessary to come and sign up for the contest. Although, this is the best place to come to stock up for Memorial Day weekend because, you know what, if you're going to be stuck in the house, you might as well stock up. And that's why we are being joined right now here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN because we got Let's Be Frank, which is probably one of the most unique drinks you can find here at the Jersey Shore. We got Craig Pellegrino. We got Frank Conrad joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Guys, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're doing great. Great weekend.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you jumping on. So, Craig, before we get to you, Frank, talk a little bit about the product. Talk about how did you actually get started? Because this is a pretty fascinating concept.
Yeah, so my wife, when I somewhat retired, she's like, you need to get a hobby. So I used to make drinks for friends and family and bring them to the bars at their houses. So I didn't have to make them there. I would actually pre-make them. And it was kind of the first ready to drink that was out there about 15 years ago. And then the ready to drink market just got hot. So my retirement / hobby job became to can it and sell it nationally. And we're nationally represent a NASCAR right now with Craig. And we're selling it in 5 states and online to any state in the entire United States. And it's all natural, gluten-free. It's a higher priced product, but listen, I like Jordan wine. I don't like barefoot wine. I hate to say that, but sometimes you want to pay for the best that's out there. And we're the best that's out there. So we have 5 flavors right now. We have the original, we have the affogato, we have the limone, the reposado, and brand new, literally today, is the chocolate martini, very low in caffeine.
I was going to say, I know the part of the chocolate thing is lower in caffeine than the regular one. So I think that's a big part of the, make sure we point that out to people.
Yeah, so the caffeine in a 12-ounce can for the large ones, 12 ounces is 190 milligrams, which breaks down to about 45 per serving. But the chocolate is less than 7 per serving. So people can drink that after their 3 o'clock window, as they say.
Exactly. Or after their race. Obviously, Craig, for those who don't know, Craig is actually from here in South Jersey, Buena, right?
Yep, correct.
So, for you, how did you get partnered with Frank with this? Because this is a pretty cool thing to have, 2 local people involved in this kind of partnership.
So, the cool story everybody asks is, how did I get in touch with Frank? And it was as simple as a direct message on Instagram. I'm out here hungry local dirt racer looking for sponsors. And, Frank gave me a shot my first year with the dirt car. Just, it was stuff's expensive, and he didn't know what he was getting into with me. And, he's like, what do you need? I told him, I'm like, tires helps, fuel helps, everything helps. So I tell everybody it started with a DM, and, everything from there, it was kind of like it just snowballed into a really good dirt season. We had a record year with our new rebranded team. We've led the most laps we've ever led. We won qualifiers. We did really well. And, I was going into this year with the intent to go dirt racing again. So it was kind of a cool story of how the NASCAR deal came to be as well.
All right. So for the uninitiated, okay, for the people who might not know the nuance, there's a lot of different types of racing out there. You mentioned dirt racing. There's NASCAR. There's the Craftsman Truck Series. There's a lot of different variables. So explain to somebody, what is the difference between what you were doing and what you're doing now?
So basically my whole life I've ran open wheel dirt sprint cars, and an open wheel dirt sprint car is about as crazy as you can get on dirt. So eventually my health.
By the way, this is not surprising because you're from South Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, we do it big. Exactly. We do it big in South Jersey. So
I'm in Dennis Township.
There you go. Well, when I started, it was kind of one of those deals where I, thought, what's the coolest, craziest thing I could do? And when we went sprint car racing, that was it. But as of, I think it was like late 2021, my doctor basically told me, he's like, you got to stop racing sprint cars, because I kept getting injured, and, injuries stack up and it leads to health problems down the road. So, it was a sad day when I had to sell my sprint car team, but then it kind of shedded a new light onto, I wanted to take a break. And when I took a break, it then turned into going and driving for a local car owner. And open wheel dirt modifieds, that's a totally different ball game. They race totally different than a sprint car. And for the people in the Northeast that are listening to this, you look up in a Northeast dirt modified, they are the craziest looking cars. And when you watch them race, we race just as crazy as they look.
Okay.
So, we go out there, we trade paint. I mean, our rub rails, we're replacing them every other week. So, super, super cool to get that experience, get Frank out there in that aspect, and, really, really go show everybody what that's about. And, we even had the car down the road at yesterday's, and, we do promotional stuff with the car. So, it's super cool to, have that accessibility. But going forward, like I said, I was planning to start this season in a dirt car. And, we've stuff was in talks forever of, me going in the stock cars and me getting an opportunity. And this opportunity kind of arose, a friend of a friend who, they got talking, I got talking, and the deal came about so good that I couldn't really say no. So, and to put everything in perspective, it was only about 3 weeks prior to Daytona. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of a quick deal.
Very quick turnaround.
Yeah, and ever since we started, I feel like it's been snowballing into something, even bigger and crazier. And every day of my life I wake up and it's just, what crazy thing is going to happen today?
All right, so before we get into more of that, so I got to ask you, Frank, okay? Because again, it's Let's Be Frank, okay? That's who we got here. You come down to Boulevard Super Liquors. You're hearing him tell this whole story to people who are maybe the uninitiated. When you got into this, how much did you know versus what you know now?
I used to bet on NASCAR. That was it.
Okay.
So, look at that whole, you go to your website and you bet on, hey, who's going to win? It was kind of fun. But when he approached me on direct message, I was like, well, if it's cheap enough, let's go for it. And the first race, the car got stuck in front of the grandstand for like a half an hour. Yeah. And I went up getting about 35 direct messages on Instagram, like, you sponsor a car? Because my face is on there with an espresso martini. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, well, this could go pretty far. Maybe it goes even further than we think. And
great driver. I went out there and crashed it the first time.
But you made sure the face was facing.
Yeah,
so
he turned it. Yeah, he turned it into the guy, so we got the logo.
Ton of TV time there.
Yeah. So then we got through the season. He had a banquet, and all the sponsors were there, and it just became that nostalgic. Hey, I hate to say, but the redneck Riviera loves espresso martinis better than some of the mainstream people, and we started opening up liquor stores that were selling in Vineland and Bridgeport and all these places that I didn't think I'd be in. And I'm like, this is actually working as people see it. And NASCAR, people love NASCAR. They love dirt tracks. They love any kind of racing. And then he approached me in December. It was December like 6th. It was very close to Daytona. And he says, I got a deal. If we can come up with some money, we can probably sign a 4-race deal. And I'm like, what's the number? I almost fell off my chair, but I picked myself back up and I realized that.
And now you're sitting here.
Yeah. And then I realized I looked at the numbers. And I saw Boulevard Liquors being our first liquor store to sell our product because I was a local resident here, but also a committeeman. And my family, I raised my family here. And I'm like, well, let's just keep going. I looked at the numbers that Dirt, everybody knows him from Dirt. He's the owner with his son, Junior. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of the money I need to propel Craig maybe into a better situation. And Craig being a really nice guy. And my wife says, hey, that's cool. Let's go for it. So we signed the check and did a four race deal. And we got to go to Daytona in the pits. And then it became almost like I never realized how much it is. You see Michael Jordan walking by. You see, God rest his soul, Kyle Busch there. And, things were just clicking that everybody came up to you, hugging you, saying, thank you for sponsoring. Thank you for coming back to Hickory or to Rockingham. These are places that Craig's raced. And it becomes almost like a second wind. And we just kept going and Craig keeps going. And he's got 4 top 10s in his first 4 races, which is unheard of. There's no racers that are a rookie that could say that. He's actually number 2 in his series that have 4 top 10s right now.
And the only other one that has the 4 consecutive top 10s is the current point leader. So
there you go. Well, that gives you folks an idea about where he is in the standings. Again, we're hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Josh Hennig, along with Craig Pellegrino and Frank Conrad, of course. Now, for those who don't know, NASCAR people, they might flip on the television, right, and they see people racing, right? So I think it's important to note that there's different levels to this, right? So, like, for the people who are maybe like a baseball fan, you have your AAA before they get to the major leagues, right? So kind of explain a little bit like where you are in like the tier system, because if, for example, if anyone's ever watched like Full Swing on Netflix, I believe there's a NASCAR version of that as well. Like you can kind of see on those shows where like the work that goes into before you can get to the big show.
Yeah. So my team owner, Andy Hillenberg, he's a multi-time ARCA champion. He's won Daytona a whole bunch. He's raced in the IndyCar series. I mean, he's got a stacked resume. And, to be on a team like his, in the ARC Menard series, they basically, it's a, how do I want to say this? So it's a filler series, and it kind of streams drivers into either the truck series or the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Now, with those 2 series, kind of almost on the same competition level, you have cup drivers that run both of those series, and you have both of those series feeding into the cup series. So when you look at it like that, we're 2 steps away from the top deal. And not even as far as AAA or AA or whatever. It's kind of like a I could be in a truck as easy as next week if we find the right partner. And I could be, and I have to earn the trust of the owners, and I have to earn the trust of sponsors.
Right, part of its relationship.
Right. They don't want just anybody out there wrecking their cars. They don't want just anybody out there being reckless. So, I'm very fortunate that with my team owner, after the first couple races, he realized, he's like, all right, this kid's listening. He's, hitting his marks. He's showing up and doing the job every week. And, our main thing is to bring it home in one piece. And secondly, it's just like it's kind of like one of those deals where you have to respect all the other guys that have been out there for longer than you, and you watch what they do. And if you have a chance to beat them, you do so. But we've been very fortunate to be at this level with this team, and we're competing with cup level teams like Joe Gibbs, Inspire Motorsports, and CR7, who's a truck team out there. And, they field ARCA cars, and they field top of the line equipment. And, we used to say, and I was talking to some people this past week, we used to say we were the best of the rest. We used to say we were the better of the middle of the field. We're now, and I'm done saying we're punching above our weight. We're playing ball with the same guys.
Right.
So, we beat Joe Gibbs Racing last week. So that was a big, major milestone for us.
And I kind of make another analogy. If anyone's ever watched the show, Welcome to Wrexham on Hulu, you ever watched that show?
I have not.
Oh, I love that show.
So, like, basically the show shows how, like, Wrexham went and moved up like the
Correct.
rankings
Yep.
from like the lowest levels of soccer to like Premier League and Championship, and like Wrexham is now competing with like in the same league as the big boys. So
Right.
it's kind of what you're talking about, which is like you're not like some lower level over here. No one knows who you
Right,
are. Like,
right.
you're in the same orbit now as those people, and that definitely changes. I won't say it changes the stakes. I think that's a fair term, but it changes, shall I say, the energy.
Yeah, well, like Frank was saying, we're walking by Michael Jordan. We're walking by all these, big name guys, Coach Joe Gibbs. We're walking by, Rick Hendrick. I mean, executives of NASCAR in the Cup Series. It's like, wow, like you walk by somebody and it's like, do you know who that is? Like, it's kind of one of those deals where, you're there. They're watching and they're watching your every move, and they're watching how well we take care of sponsors. They're watching
Right.
how we present ourselves at the track. And that's a big thing, with us is when, you catch me before a race, you catch me after a race. I love having a good time. I like talking with fans. I like, we'll all go out, get food, drinks after a race. That's no big deal to me. A lot of drivers don't do that. And that's where I kind of, I stick to my roots. I know where I came from. I'm not going to forget where I came from. And at the end of the day, you have to look at the big picture. Like these guys, NASCAR wants the people that really interact with the fans. They want people that come out here and do stuff like this. So, it's super cool because here, people walking in might not know who I am. People walking in might not even know
But
NASCAR.
they'll walk away now wanting to follow you.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, we're playing with the big leagues now, and that's where we intend to be for a long time.
All right, let's get a couple more in before we hit the break. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Frank Conrad, Craig Pellegrino. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with you on 97.3 ESPN. Streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig and the Dr. Squatch virtual studios. Let's Be Frank, sold right here at Boulevard Super Liquors. I got to ask you a couple things, pertaining to the sport. So how are you recovering from your injury? I know you got injured a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so NASCAR racing's, people think we crash a car and we get hurt, get banged up. Sometimes that might be the case, but we didn't crash a car last week. We ran a really good race, but we have helmet blowers in the car to supply fresh air.
Right.
That went out on me during the race, so I suffered heat exhaustion. So that was a couple days of recovering from that.
In other words, no fun.
Correct. And, when you get out of a car and you can barely hold yourself up after, it's kind of scary. So there was that. And then there was also a rubber fire underneath the car. Rubber builds up kind of everywhere on these short tracks, and, there's no place for it to go. We're not going fast enough where it's leaving the car. And ultimately, it cooked my foot really good, my heel, everything else. So, unfortunately, I walked away with some pretty severe burns on my foot, but it's wrapped up right now, kind of halfway in a shoe, and we're figuring it out. So it's a part of it. When I'm in the Cup Series and something like that happens, I can't let it affect me too much. I got to wrap it up, suck it up, and keep going. So
do whatever it takes to get back in the car.
Absolutely.
Well, whatever it takes too, because you're on the radio, you hear what's going on between the spotter and the owner, and he's listening. And Craig's like, just run. 4 laps to go. You can see he's kind of getting a little heat exhaustion because the car's spinning out, the tail's kind of going.
Yeah.
And then right when he crossed the finish line, he's like, "Get me out of this car! I'm on fire!"
Yeah.
Realizing that the last 4 laps he was probably not doing too well.
Right.
And he didn't want to stop the race; he wanted to finish. And
Well, that's the other thing. Like, people don't understand. Like, one of the things that makes racing unique
Correct.
is that there's no timeout.
Mhm.
There's no
Yeah, you can't stop.
you know,
If you stop, you're done.
I mean, there's a pit stop. But it's
Correct.
Not the same. It's not
No.
the same as getting a timeout.
You
and playing
lose
basketball. or
Yeah,
something.
you lose track position, you lose points, you lose money. I mean, it ruins your day. And
Because that pit stop is not about you as much as it is the car.
correct.
Usually, right?
Yep. And I mean, those guys were inside the car trying to fix my helmet blower, but I mean, there's only so much they could do too, and we're only allowed so many guys over the wall and stuff like that. But ultimately after that race, it was huge to step out and step away from that and say, I went up to my buddy Nate Moeller and I went to him and he's like, "Yeah, I seen you pull up to the outside of me and then you disappeared." Well, when his one single car turned into 3 cars in my eyes, I knew the heat was getting to me. So again, scared myself a little bit, but like you said, there's no time for stopping. You got to keep at it. And trust me, when I passed that Joe Gibbs race car, I was not stopping for anything. So
So when's your next race?
Next race is July 19th, Indianapolis. We run Indianapolis Raceway Park, not the big track. The ARCA East Tour consists of a lot of short tracks and intermediate tracks. So we will be on Cup weekends with Indy. We will be on Cup weekends at Iowa Speedway, Bristol Speedway. So, and Bristol will be our championship race at the end of the year. And then there's one really, really short track that Frank had seen in between there called Flat Rock Speedway. Super, super fun. It's a fishbowl. I mean, it's a straight circle.
They can't fit 30 cars on a track. It's like so tight.
You
It's
put
crazy.
a bunch of us out there. It's going to be a good time.
And where do people find you on social media?
Craig Pellegrini Jr. on all socials, Facebook, Instagram, X, Team 27 on X right now. And we are working on currently building, our YouTube platform and stuff like that. So everything's been happening so fast. It's just hard to keep up with what we have. And we're really plugging away. So, and if, you can't find us there, Let's Be Frank on all social medias. If you go check out Frank's page, we're on the newsletters. We're on the website. You could find the GoFundMe just to donate to the cause. And my story is on there as well. So if anybody's interested, they could go find my story there.
And Frank, one more time, tell people about the different varieties of Let's Be Frank that are sold right here at Boulevard Super Liquors.
Yeah, great. So you have the original, which is a traditional espresso martini. If you go to the bar and ask your bartender, the difference is we're consistent. It's the same every time you get it. Then we came out with my favorite flavor, which was the Limone. It's a limoncello espresso martini. And then the tequila lovers, we did a reposado. It's kind of a smokier barrel-aged espresso martini. And then we did an affogato, which is kind of an accident. They added a little too much vanilla, but it tasted like the dessert affogato. My wife's Italian, so she's like, let's just go with it. And then we just came out with our most popular, I think, for summer is a chocolate martini with lower caffeine. It tastes like Swiss Miss. Somebody told me Yoo-hoo on steroids. They're all great. We have big cans. We have small cans. We're hitting all the bars. We're sold over the bar, Ocean Drive, Shenanigans. We're down in Carney's. Carney's is our flagship bar restaurant. We do a lot of events with them. And then we're in every liquor store in South Jersey. If not, I think we just hit 350 locations in New Jersey. So
Nice.
we're moving through. And it's because it's an all-natural, gluten-free, and non-dairy product that people can drink and not get a headache from. It's pure cane sugar, not high fructose or artificial, so your body can actually work with it. Now, granted, it's 15 ABV, so we're in the high ABV market, but people like that because the new generation is, hey, I'd rather have one drink instead of 10 to get to a certain level, and that's great. So Boulevard being our first store, we have to give another kudos out to Dave. Senior and junior and dirt, as we call him. He actually was a sponsor at Nashville, which was awesome. He's on the back of the car on the quarter panel when we were racing around when Craig got number 6, and they call it P6. It was pretty amazing. So we actually have pictures online of the car, so you can go out to Let's Be Frank or drink Let's Be Frank on Instagram or Craig's social media. We'll send the pictures to you guys. Pretty cool that everybody's stepping up in New Jersey and people in North Carolina and Ohio are really stepping in. Menards really likes them, so we're going good there.
Well, guys, I appreciate you jumping on with me today. Again, folks, come down, meet Craig today here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Don't forget, you can win the signed Devontae Smith helmet and Cooper DeJean jersey, but you must come down the Boulevard Super Liquors today. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live here on 97.3 ESPN. Coming up on the other side after a quick break, we have the Ivy Rehab injury report. We are going to get into what on God's green earth is going on with Aiden Miller and his lower back. We'll get to all that more with Dr. Alan Stepney here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Island. We are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch.
Real Day on ESPN Radio. Two rivals collide in the NL Central. Center field, and Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker leads the St. Louis Cardinals into American Family Field to go head-to-head with Jake Bowers and the Milwaukee Brewers. Jake Bowers, Cardinals and Brewers. Coverage begins Memorial Day at 1:30 Eastern. With first pitch at 2:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to Major League Baseball all season on 97.3 ESPN.
Planning a graduation party, a summer family gathering, Memorial Day weekend mixer. The one-stop shop where I go is Boulevard Super Liquors. Located on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, if you're traveling down the Garden State Parkway, Boulevard Super Liquors is within minutes of exit 25. So you can jump off the exit and get back on the road within minutes. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey. These are just some of the reasons why my favorite stop is Boulevard Super Liquors, with the best selection at the Jersey Shore. Visit them on Instagram and Facebook to learn more about upcoming tasting events. Boulevard Super Liquors on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
There's so much to discover in Sea Isle. For one delicious weekend, our local restaurants are showcasing their best flavors and creative specials. From casual bites to sit-down dinners, there's something for everyone. Places you already love and others you've been meaning to try. Dine in, try something new. Visit your favorites. Sea Isle Restaurant Weekend, June 5th through the 7th.
Memorial Day savings are happening at the Home Depot. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select top brand appliances like Frigidaire. Plus, get free delivery. Upgrade your kitchen with a fridge with an extra large ice capacity, a stone-baked pizza oven, or a dishwasher offering an extra fast 50-minute normal wash cycle. Save on appliances this Memorial Day at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 14th through June 3rd. U.S. only. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more. See store online for details.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Greg A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess. Don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit GregAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. That's why we will find Dr. Alan Stepney for today's Ivy Rehab Injury Report. There are 18 locations around South Jersey. They offer best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. I can say that because I know personally, because they were my physical therapist. That's why I recommend them here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Dr. Alan Stepney is back with us today. Dr. Allen, how you doing on this Memorial Day weekend?
I'm doing well. How about you, Josh?
I'm doing good, and I'm glad you're back here because we have a couple of interesting injuries because they're the kind of injuries that, you know, the average person deals with, right? These are not things that like are completely, the average person is not getting Tommy John surgery. Okay. We all know that, but the average person does have back problems. That's why I want to start with. So for those who don't know, the Phillies' top prospect is Aiden Miller. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. He hasn't played baseball in almost 3 months. So the breakdown is that he's returning to light baseball activity this week, which from I understand, for those who don't know, basically means he's fielding and throwing. But he has been dealing with a lower back injury. He suffered it last year. He fought through the injury last year, and then he came in the training camp, felt fine, but then the injury resurfaced. So, Dr. Allen, when reports say that Miller tried to play through the injury last year, is it possible that because he didn't manage the injury soon enough, that created a lingering effect?
Yeah, so in the case of Aiden Miller, it is certainly possible that he didn't manage the injury properly in 2025, leading to a re-aggravation of the injury this year. So when an athlete plays through a lower back injury or any injury for that matter, there could be significant risk of further injury, especially if the performance of the sport frequently involves the injured body part. And in the case of the lower back, almost any baseball related movement, such as swinging the bat, running, sliding, or throwing, the lower back is involved and susceptible to injury. Now, there are some injuries that one can play through with pain management, but the injury is still underlying, masked by the temporary alleviation of pain. So, pain is a signal that tells us something in our body is wrong. But when that signal is removed, it gives us the illusion that we're okay, but there is still potential for further harm. So, the pain may be gone, but the injury remains. It's kind of like if you have a big hole in your wall, right? And instead of patching the hole up, you cover it with a painting. Well, with the painting in place, you can't see the hole in the wall, but it's still there. And it could be getting bigger and bigger behind that painting. And that's the same thing when it comes to playing through injuries. So for Aiden Miller, it's a situation where is the risk of re-injury or not fully healing worth the reward of playing in the game? And that can be a tough call for the athletes and the training staff to make as far as the outlook of the player's career, both in the short term and the long term.
Now, most people have dealt with back soreness, right? Right. But this seems to be more complicated than just I woke up and my back is bothering me, right?
Yeah.
So for you, when you hear that he's not even able to do any athletic activities for months because of this soreness, as if someone who deals with physical therapy, someone comes in the IV rehab is like, I haven't been able to play whatever their rec league, right? Or maybe they're just trying to chase their kids around. Like, what kind of rehab goes into dealing with the kind of soreness that keeps you from doing, in this case, playing baseball?
Okay, yeah. So lower back pain could be a complicated injury because of a couple of reasons. So due to the frequent involvement of the lower back structures with body movement or posture, it's highly sensitive to injury. I'm sure most of your audience can relate to having low back pain at some point in their lives because it doesn't take much to injure the back. You move suddenly the wrong way. You lift something too heavy, a fall or a car accident, increased wear and tear on the spine or structures around the spine from bad posture, work, or sports are all common causes. So the onset of injury is unpredictable, and the symptom presentation is also unpredictable. I mean, as Aiden Miller said, it went away for a little bit, and I thought it was gone, and that happens a lot. I can't tell you how many times I hear my patients and others when it comes to lower back pain, they say the same thing. So you can be fine for a month or a year, and then without warning, you get this pain. So it can be quite difficult to treat and manage. However, I can say most often when there is a lingering back injury, either with continued pain or on and off episodes of pain that does not improve over an extended period of time, it can be an indicator of a more serious condition. So hopefully for Aiden Miller, that is not the case. And it looks like the Phillies training staff is proceeding with caution by keeping him out of the lineup and progressing his baseball activity slowly, which I believe is the right approach for Aiden at this time. I mean, if I was on the Phillies training staff, that's the same approach that I would be taking as well.
So then, for example, if someone comes into IV rehab physical therapy centers, they see Dr. Allen Stepney there, right? And they say, Dr. Allen, what are the checkpoints that I need to hit in order to get back to doing what I love to do? Maybe they play, like I said, maybe they play pickleball, whatever it may be. What are the checkpoints that you're telling your patients at IV rehab before you're saying your back is cleared to go?
Right. So you want to start out with basically minimal to no pain with activities, right? So basic things like being able to get up from a chair, being able to sleep, being able to stand, being able to walk, sit. You want to not have pain with doing those types of activities. So you also want to have full range of motion of the lumbar spine. You want to have pretty good core strength. You want to have good strength in the muscles around the spine. You want to have good flexibility. You want to work on good body mechanics when it comes to doing different movements. So a lot of times people can get back injuries just from not lifting the proper way or lifting weight that's too heavy. So you got to know what activities your back can tolerate at particular points in the rehab, and not try to go like overboard or overdo things that can cause a setback. You also want to have good lower body strength as well in the lower extremities. Good strength with your hamstrings, your glutes, so the butt muscles, core, the quadriceps. All that kind of plays a role into how you're able to take care of the back, because having good core, strong legs, that takes stress and pressure off the back. And when you're able to show that, then you can kind of progress to different activities like running, jogging, depending on what your sport is. If we're talking about Aiden Miller, you want to work on like rotational movements, like sudden quick movements of pivoting and cutting. And then you just kind of go along that way and just kind of monitor for the player's performance, making sure they're not having any type of drop off or limitations. And then also checking in with the player, seeing how they feel, and then just kind of making a decision based off that.
You mentioned hamstring, and that's the other injury we wanted to hit on here on the IV rehab injury report, with over 18 locations around South Jersey. Best in class outpatient physical therapy. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Josh Hennig, Mike Carlin here on 97.3 ESPN. Hamstrings. Well, that's what Jalen Williams done with the OKC Thunder. He has now injured both of his hamstrings multiple times now. Fortunate to miss 33 games. So he only played 33 games this season because of the hamstring injury. He re-injured it again the other night. He has a game-to-game. He didn't play last night. He is questionable moving forward. It's been an issue we're dealing with 9 months now. So when you have a patient who has injured both of their legs, not one leg, both legs, the same muscle, how do you even deal with that from a physical therapy perspective?
Yeah, it's tough because I think the most complicated part about injuring both hamstrings is that when you're treating one, you could be overcompensating on the other lower extremity, and that could potentially cause a re-injury on that side. So in other words, one hamstring is getting better while the other hamstring is getting worse because you're putting increased tension on it because you're trying to overcompensate for the injured hamstring. And so in the case of Jalen Williams, he really had a tough start to the season. He actually missed the first 19 games of the season due to off-season wrist surgery, which delayed his off-season conditioning. And so because he wasn't able to train properly for an 82-game regular season, his risk for soft tissue injuries went up exponentially. So it's actually no surprise that he's been dealing with these kind of injuries this season. He didn't really get a chance to train. So he's kind of been, behind the 8 ball all season, if you will. So it's a tough thing when you have both, when you have injuries to both legs, because it's like You can't get them both on the same page at the same time. So, however, though, it doesn't look like they need him right now.
That's true.
They're doing pretty good. They looked good last night.
Now, so let's say someone comes into IV rehab, whether it's a hamstring, calf muscles, whatever dual muscles in both legs, right? What are the kind of like checkpoints a patient would need to hit before you are saying, hey, you're good to go?
Yeah. So again, similar to with the back, you want to make sure that they're having minimal to no pain with activities, normal strength, range of motion, and flexibility of the hamstring muscle. You also want to see good muscle balance with the quadriceps, hip, and core muscles, because muscle imbalance is a primary risk factor for re-injury. And then the next phase is just, again, monitoring the sport-related movement. And I'm checking for any type of instability, any type of drop-off in performance while they're doing these light activities. And then if they're able to do that, then I'm progressing with like agility drills, like pivoting, cutting, short sprints, long sprints, plyometrics. If they're able to get through that, then we're talking about the next phase where you're doing non-contact individual drills, consisting of like shooting drills, light one-on-one. And then in the case of Jalen Williams, you do progress to contact shooting drills, like with the pad. And then you're doing like 2-on-2. Then you're progressing to 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and then 5-on-5. So whether it's Jalen Williams or a patient in my clinic who just wants to just play for like his high school or college team or just recreationally. Obviously, they wouldn't be doing all of the same things Jalen Williams is doing. However, some of those same principles still must be adhered to as far as working through one phase before you advance to the next phase, making sure there aren't any symptoms while in one phase. If there are, you kind of just stay at that point until they're able to get through that phase symptom free, and then you can move on to the next phase.
Again, he's Dr. Alan Stepney from IV Rehab Physical Therapy Centers, over 18 locations around South Jersey, best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. And, of course, I know that personally because they were my physical therapist. That's why we recommend them here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Dr. Alan, appreciate you jumping on today. I know a lot of people have been asking me about, what is going on with Eden Miller. A lot of people look at some of these injuries and they just, it perplexes them. A lot of people don't understand, the variables that go into this stuff, but we appreciate you jumping on and explaining it.
Thank you. I'm always glad to be on here. I got to get back on here again. It's always great.
Absolutely. We'll talk to Dr. Josh and make it happen.
All right.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you, Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by Caesar Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesar rewards. The way you win those rewards is by leveling up your experience by betting on baseball, basketball, hockey, and more. Endless rewards like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more only with Caesar's Sportsbook. New to Caesar Sportsbook? Download the app right now. Use my promo code RADIO, DYW. Then place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. 10 chances to boost your play just by stepping on the field with Caesar Sportsbook. For more information, see Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And you can take those Caesar Sportsbook rewards and go to Tropicana Atlantic City on Saturday, June 13th for the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history. Saturday, June 13th is where two undefeated South Jersey heavyweights go head-to-head. Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper takes on Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr., plus also in action will be New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo and Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th. Get your tickets now. Do not miss out on the ultimate South Jersey boxing showdown. Saturday, June 13th, Ticketmaster.com is where you get your tickets right now. Selden Jr. versus Popper, two South Jersey fighters undefeated. Who will lose? Find out Saturday, June 13th at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. We are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog, or the Mary Ann sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
The biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history is at Tropicana Showroom Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th, when undefeated Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper takes on undefeated Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr., plus New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo and Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III are both back in action inside Tropicana Atlantic City Showroom. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com for this can't-miss boxing event, Saturday, June 13th, Selden Jr. versus Popper, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions.
AI can turn your lights on and even write your kid's essay, but AI isn't going to make sure your home's air conditioning is ready for spring temps. There's nothing artificial about the peace of mind you get with a professional AC tune-up from HomeServe, and having a local expert technician service your system just $99 for a limited time is quite intelligent. Offer ends May 31st, so schedule today at homeservesj.com.
Service provided by Frank Siderio Jr., Master HVAC R Contractor, license number 19HC0021150. Plumbing by Louis Sokowski. Plumbing license number 36B I01292700.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Oh, really? That's great. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Announcing the 43rd Annual Ranch Hope Wranglers Golf Classic, Friday, June 5th at Ron Jaworski's Running Deer Golf Club, presented by Woodruff Energy, PSEG Nuclear, and Atlantic City Electric. Also made possible by Comtech Systems, Maddington Flooring, South Jersey Water Conditioning, Heritage Dairy Stores, Philadelphia Insurance, Ocean First Bank, RCL Solar, Pennsville Bank, B.R. Williams, Gallagher Insurance, the DRBA, and CW Services. Proceeds benefit Ranch Hope's ministry, serving New Jersey youth and families who've experienced trauma in their lives. For info and future Ranch Hope events, visit ranchhope.org.
This Memorial Day, get up to an extra $1,000 off select top brand appliances like LG. Plus, get free delivery at the Home Depot. Whether it's backyard cookouts or watch parties, LG's newest refrigerators keep the drinks ready and guests impressed with mini craft ice, plus both cubed and crushed ice. Celebrate Memorial Day with appliance savings and free delivery on select appliances at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 14th through June 3rd. U.S. only. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more. See store online for details.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Greg A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess. Don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit GregAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I stood right there not too long ago, and I told the entire world, I said, call me what you want. Yeah.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
And there's nothing you can do about it, and that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah.
Streaming live on YouTube and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. And as always, we are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. We are broadcasting live from Memorial Day weekend from Boulevard Super Liquors. Of course, we are giving away a Devontae Smith signed helmet and a Cooper DeJean jersey presented by Bird Gang Spirits. And joining us right now, well, we talked to Junior at the beginning of the show. Now we're being joined by Senior here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is a beautiful setup you guys got here. This is awesome.
Well, we appreciate you having us join us. And I think one of the coolest things, at least for someone like me who has lived down here most of my life about Boulevard Super Liquors, is this is like a staple of South Jersey. Like this is like you come in and out of Ocean City. It's almost like a landmark at this point. You know, for you looking at Boulevard Super Liquors now 4 generations, you know, what does it mean to you for what this has become?
Well, to keep it going. You know, my grandmother and father came down from New York City in 1938, and they wanted to get out of New York City, and they came down and wanted to go to a peaceful shore neighborhood. And we started out originally up the street where the old Ocean City Home Bank is or was. And then in 1951, my parents found out that the Parkway was going to come through, that they were going to have an expressway that instead of Route 9 to New York. And my father decided, he said he had to be between the Parkway and Ocean City. And back then there was no wetlands rules. So we turned around and he filled in here. I lost him at an early age when I was 18. And in 74, my brother and I turned around and put the first edition on and made it a superstore. Back then, there was not a lot of superstores. Later on was old car dealerships, food stores that went out of business, department stores that got bigger and they had locations, and the superstore started. And we put the edition on in 84. And just recently, 3.5 years ago, my son joined me in the business. And it's a pleasure and an honor to work with him.
I think one of the other thing about this is that, you know, this is literally the best selection of wine, beer, and spirits in all of South Jersey. And literally, you have something for everyone and anyone. And yeah, it's conveniently located right side of Ocean City, right off the Garden State Parkway. And it's so cool because literally you can be driving down the Parkway, get off exit 25, zip in and zip out, and you're stocked up for a weekend. Because let's be realistic, no one's like going to the beach on a weekend like this. You got to stock up and be home.
Yep, and people will shop early. You have bad weather like this, they want to go to the food store, the meat store, you know, that kind of things, and get everything out of the way. The old days, they used to rent a lot of movies, you know, without the cable, had TV and stuff, and people would, get their adult fluids.
Dave, let me ask you a question. Growing up here, my first job was I was a chef at Beyel's in 80 and 81. So I lived in Ocean City, and now we've been with my family here for close to 29 years. I can remember that when I was in my 20s and you're having a party, kegs were a big thing. Is kegs still as big as it is then that it is now, or did it drop off a little bit, 80s, 90s, 2000s?
It dropped off tremendously. People like variety right now. Unless you get a sixtel, which is the 1/3 that size, that they turn around and, you know, the old days in Night in Venice, we used to do over 100 kegs in a weekend. For everybody had a party, 2-3 kegs here in a tap,
Easy.
keg buckets, ice, and etc. And it was this gigantic business. And now it's people with their home units. People just don't get a keg or whatever because all these drinks are out and, you know, ready to drink. They call them RTDs. The variety is unbelievable nowadays. And there's so much out there. Our beer box, we have 32 doors. We had to expand that a couple times just because give people selection, and people want it cold. And we have 3 compressors, and it's a walk-in. It's probably 36 degrees in there, and you get ice cold beer for your future parties.
And that was my point about adapting, I guess. So you saw the times changing, you adapted to it, and now you're staying ahead of it, kind of thing.
Yes, and like the RTD drinks now at the stateside, Surfside, High Noons, you know, those kind of things. That it's easy. COVID put it over the top because everybody wanted to have cans. the glass industry got hurt, and they turned around, and you have a can on your back porch, you have a can in your boat, you have a can to do your beach and whatever, that kind of thing. And no one wanted to worry about glass. And then all the drinks came out with with Frank's, martini, chocolate martinis, and all the other things. That it makes it so convenient when someone comes over your house. It was like the day years ago when someone came to your house and the parents said, "What would you like?" And someone wants a whiskey sour, and someone wants a Manhattan, someone wants a martini, someone wants a Tom Collins or whatever. And it took the parent half an hour to make all the drinks. Now everything comes in a can, and you have the variety of life. These seltzers that have all the different flavors, with orange, black cherry, and etc. That it's an easy throw in the cooler.
So when I had a meeting with Dave Jr. and we were talking about how we're going to make this work, his biggest thing that he stressed to me was we're here really for the locals and the tourists that come down for the summertime and year-round people. And I guess my point I was trying to make is I'm looking at a sign coming up. You're promoting the Shore Medical Center. The special events that you guys do to be part of the community is really over the top. And the biggest thing he wanted to say is that there's so many businesses in Ocean City that have helped us get to where we are, and not just Ocean City, in Upper Township and around here, that your marketing plan has almost been, it sounds like, give back, because eventually it's going to come back to me kind of thing, which is a good thing. I love seeing everybody be involved and being a true community business down here in South Jersey.
Yeah, when my father moved down here, Upper Township had 900 people year round. There was no traffic lights. There was a couple blinking lights at the main intersections. The same thing happened in Ocean City with the expansion. There used to be 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses. Now they're 4-bedroom, 3-bath, or duplexes that's 8-bedroom, 6-bath. I mean, the traffic has increased. I mean, they just finished a beautiful roadway in Ocean City off 34th Street.
Finally.
Finally. So when we had a bad high tide, the street didn't get flooded. That kind of thing.
Yeah, people now can actually escape the island when it rains. What a concept, right?
Yep. Well, they're doing the drainage over there. They're doing a great job. They have some low areas there.
Yeah.
That people have flooding. You're a barrier island.
Dave, before we let you go, I got to ask you, because we are here also give you away the Devontae Smith signed helmet, Cooper DeJean jersey, thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Do you have a prediction for the Eagles this season?
I think they'll do very well. The trades they made and the draft picks, and I was just reading the other day, 2 or 3 of the free agents, they think that they're going to definitely make the team and be future stars. I think that the Eagles probably during the season will end up like maybe 12-5, and I think they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Mike's got him at 11-6, 11-6, 12-5. I think we would all be happy with either one.
Ted had him at the same thing.
Yeah,
12-5.
Yeah, but the only thing that the stretch is they got 11 days. They got 3 home games.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's going to be wear and tear on the bodies.
It's also going to be weird having them play on not 1 but 2 holidays this year. They're playing on Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, so that's going to be a little bit of a weird. I know a lot of Eagles season ticket holders are mad the game is on Christmas Eve this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you talk about families, and obviously it's a big night for Santa Claus.
What's also a big night to come down to Boulevard Super Liquors and stock up for your holiday party. And Dave, we really appreciate you having us out here today. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Also promoting all the great stuff you guys have here. Again, we had Bird Gang Spirits with Ted on earlier. Let's Be Frank is here, and other great products here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Hang with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank. And see how you still have time to come on down and sign up to win the Cooper DeJean jersey, the Devontae Smith signed helmet, all the great prizes here at Boulevard Super Liquors. But you just come down. No purchase necessary. You're not required to buy anything. But let's be real. Listen, if you're coming down to Boulevard Super Liquors, you're coming down to get, because there's something for everyone at the best selection at the Jersey Shore, right off exit 25 on the Garden State Parkway. More to come here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig, Mike Carlin hanging out with you. Don't forget, We will be back on the road again next Saturday at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. And the week after that, we'll be in Seattle City for restaurant weekend. So hanging with Hennig, more opportunities to hang with Hennig on the road on 97.3 ESPN FM. Streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Just follow at Josh Hennig.
Hello, I'm Chief Fred Spano of the Egg Harbor Township Police Department. Did you know that the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day is considered the busiest and most dangerous travel time of the year? Protect yourself and your passengers by wearing your seatbelts every trip, both day and night. Your seatbelt is the single most effective way to reduce serious injuries, and it increases your chances of surviving a motor vehicle crash by as much as 75%. Law enforcement agencies across Atlantic and Cape May counties will be participating in the statewide Click It or Ticket campaign. Wearing your seatbelt is the law. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, you will get a ticket. Please do your part to keep our roadways safe by obeying traffic safety laws and practicing safe driving habits. The most important partner in our effort to prevent crashes and save lives is you. This message is brought to you by Highway Traffic Safety and the Egg Harbor Township Police Department.
For over 22 years, Riptide Bait and Tackle has been the go-to spot for anglers of every level. They've got everything you need, including fresh bait, the largest selection of gulp in South Jersey, crabbing supplies, rods, reels, tackle, apparel, and more. Even famous Stocks pound cakes. Riptide is a Shimano top shelf dealer and a Penn Gold label dealer, plus home of the famous Riptide Rodders. Follow Riptide Bait and Tackle on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for daily fishing reports. And stop in before your next trip.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Come celebrate Ventnor Social's 1-year anniversary. Down Beach's go-to place for game days. No shower happy hours, beach nights, live music, great food, cold drinks, and being social. From cheering on Phillies baseball team and other sports action on their 20 big screen TVs, to enjoying a cold beverage on the roof deck, to playing an arcade game. Plus, game day food and wing specials. Celebrate Ventnor Social, Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor. Check out their Facebook page for the latest specials and events.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Anthony Rodia, Insanely Funny Tour.
These kids have it way too easy. You know, my father taught me how to swim when I was 7 years old by throwing me off my uncle's boat. And in his head, if it was a life or death situation, I would teach myself how to swim. I'm drowning in front of him. He looked over the boat. He goes, "Hey, if you keep a cry, you're going to die."
Anthony Rodia, Saturday, November 14th, Ovation Hall and Ocean Casino Resort. Get tickets now at theoceanac.com.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally. This is Hanging with Hennig. I have friends everywhere. On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig broadcasting live for the third hour from Boulevard Super Liquors here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios. Don't forget, you still have time to come down to win the Devontae Smith signed helmet or the Cooper DeJean jersey presented by Bird Gang Spirits. No purchase necessary, but I mean, why would you come down the Boulevard Super Liquors if you're not going to stock up for Memorial Day weekend? Let's Be Frank is still here hanging out with you. Craig Pellegrini is out here as well, NASCAR driver from Buena, New Jersey. But joining us right now, me and Mike Carlin hanging out with you. It's Mike from Myers Brewing. Myers Lighthouse is right there on Route 9 in Ocean View. For those who are old enough, it used to just be the mini golf course and the batting cages. But now you can have some beer when you're playing mini golf. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
We appreciate you jumping on. And, you're one of the many great people that not just local people at this point, but also great options can come to Boulevard Super Liquors. So really quick, kind of tell people, if they come down to Boulevard Super Liquors, what do you have in stock here?
Absolutely. Thank you again, guys, for having us. We're excited to be here. We're pumped to be a part of this community. This place is fantastic. Good friends with the guys that own this place. We have always a Pilsner in the cooler. We have either an Eagles-themed Pilsner or a Phillies-themed Pilsner. We have the Brewbirds still in stock now. We also run a Session IPA, which is like a nice, lighter IPA. As well as our staple hole-in-one, which is 6.9% hazy IPA. All three of those are available now and rotate a little, but those two main staples always stay.
Now, for those who maybe can make it down to, let's say maybe this weekend, they're going to go stock up here at Boulevard Super Liquors. But let's say next weekend when the weather's a little nicer, they want to come down and play mini golf down at the Lighthouse. What do you guys have in the tasting room right now?
Absolutely. We are big fans of rotation. So we are making new beers almost weekly. We have our two staples, that hole-in-one and usually the Pilsner, but the rest of it changes. So we're constantly coming up with new beers. We have fantastic hazy IPAs. We always like to have some light stuff. We have a lager, Mexican lager on right now that's fantastic. But we're always trying to do our best to keep everybody interested by making new beers and, offering a great way for families to come out and enjoy the golf course as well as be out back having a couple beers.
So as someone who's lived in South Jersey most of my life, I think a Sea Isle guy originally for me, that mini golf course is iconic for a lot of us. So how did you end up there? Like, I want to hear that story.
It's a crazy story. So we were on a tight budget and I was kind of door knocking to try to find a location, I guess. And the guy 2 doors down didn't work out. And I kind of pulled out of the parking lot and passed the mini golf course. And there was a for sale by owner there. So I called the number. The guy showed up an hour later.
Timing.
It was crazy. It showed up an hour later, and then we had to deal within 2 weeks and bought the property, and we went for it. We had no approvals. We were like, we're going to get this. We have this great idea, and we'll just see if it works out. And it did, thank God. So, yeah.
So now for you, when you landed there, okay, has it exceeded expectations? Is it a bit about what you expected? Because, it's such a unique location. I mean, you got a lot of traffic driving by every day.
It did, and it did exceed our expectations. The mini golf course was something I knew nothing about. I've never owned a mini golf course. I like to play it, but that was a complete shock to us. We thought the idea would be cool. It'd be something else for the parents, but it worked out really well. And the combination between the two of them, I think, is what makes it work. One without the other doesn't work.
So, Mike, I'm still learning the ropes of being a craft beer kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I say still learning, a couple months in.
Sure.
So I'm a big, people know me, I'm a big rum and coke kind of guy.
Yeah.
But when I have a beer every once in a while, I'm like just a Coors Light. Like I don't know all the funny names that go along with it. If I came in and said to your place, hey, I'm a Coors Light kind of guy. Would you push me to something that's going to be close to that Coors Light?
I would, and I'm giving you a Phil's Pills. That's what I'm giving you. And that's our Phillies themed beer.
Oh, perfect
it's
timing.
Super light, very easy to drink. We use some upgraded malts now in it, which make it even better than last year. But that's the beer I'm putting in front of you.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Really quick, when you say update, you say update or upgrade?
Upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like what goes in, because I go to a lot of the craft breweries down here. I'm a big Cape May County guy. I go up and down. And when people say, hey, we upgraded the brew, like everyone has a different meaning for that. So what does it mean for Myers?
So for us, we're constantly just trying to put out a superior product. Our brewer, Andrew Swanson, who's a local guy, he grew up down here in Summers Point and now lives over in Upper. He's just always trying new things and always putting products together that would elevate our beers, I guess. So we just started using a great facility in South Jersey that's a local malt company, Rabbit Hill. So we started using that in a lot of our Pilsners and lagers, which has elevated it and made it even better.
Very cool. All right, so we are also here at Boulevard Super Liquors. People still have come down and sign the Cooper DeJean jersey or Devontae Smith helmet. You must come down the sign up. You will announce the winner around 3 o'clock. So, Eagles.
Yeah.
This year, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, that first round pick, I think it was fantastic. I think that was a good play. We'll see how the rest of the wide receiver room changes, I guess, or doesn't. I don't know.
It's going to change.
I mean, it seems. We're waiting, I guess. But we're huge Birds fans and huge Phils fans. We've been in Philadelphia too for a long time, so we have a location in Fishtown, and we support the Birds and big time.
So now you just mentioned the wide receiver. I mean, we asked Dave Jr. earlier about this, and he had a very interesting take on it. He said, as a former athlete, he says he was bothered by how A.J. Brown handled things. As an Eagles fan, were you bothered by the A.J. Brown stuff? Or you just kind of like, whatever, he's a wide receiver?
I think he's such a good talent. It's just hard to let good talent go because you never know how these drafts are going to end up or these players are going to play. And he's a superior talent. So obviously want the best roster we could put on the field. And I think he should be on that roster. I mean, they fought hard to get him. It was an interesting way they got him, but they got him. He did well for us.
I think that's perfect timing to say something like that. Because literally, there's only a couple guys at his level that we're like being very nice, saying, "Oh, June 1st is coming. We're just going to." Why do we got to lose him? Yeah. Why do we have to lose him? He hasn't come out and said, "I want out."
Well, I'll be the bad guy here. You guys can be good cop. I'll be bad cop. Okay. So first of all, football is the ultimate team sport. Everyone's got to be on the same page. And when I see people like Kurt Warner and Brian Baldinger and Nick Foles all saying that A.J. Brown is quitting on routes, that he's putting his quarterback in a bad position to be successful, I don't care how talented you are. I don't want someone who is not 100% part of the team's success. I don't want him on my team. Listen, I was never some great athlete. I was a marginal athlete at best. But when I played, football, basketball, baseball, and all the sports, one guy doesn't do their job, it affects the whole team.
Right.
So to me, if AJ don't want to be a part of the team's success, I don't want him here.
But he hasn't said that.
That's true.
He has not once said, I don't want to be part of this team. And the guys that you just mentioned, Josh, they just all happen to be quarterbacks. What do you know? What do you know?
Okay,
maybe they had
Richard Sherman's another one. He's criticized.
Okay. My point is, I don't think
I got the Rolodex.
I don't think he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is.
I don't think,
and every other team would love to have him.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Okay, the Eagles have done a very good job of bringing in quality people. Howard Roseman has been on record multiple times about that. But I think that when someone, and this is where it gets a little dicey, but it's my show and I can say whatever I want. Hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. When somebody talks, when someone says one thing and then does something else, it rubs me the wrong way. Okay. When you sit there and tell the media everything is good, like, for example, there were times this year that A.J. Brown stuck up for Jalen Hurts when no one else did. Okay. Well, that's great on Wednesday.
Right.
But when Sunday comes around and the quarterback throws you an obvious touchdown and you quit on the routes, that irks me.
That's a tough one to come back from, I guess. I don't know. That's like, he's just so good. If they were throwing to him more and utilizing him more through that time period.
Guess what? When they threw it to him more, they lost 3 straight games. And then remember the Chargers game, he dropped 3 balls.
He did. You're absolutely right.
And that's another thing. I mean,
We
I don't know
can't,
how.
Mike. We can't beat him.
I know. I'm
beat him,
trying.
Mike.
I'm thinking. And
Forget
sometimes
that it's his show. We can't beat him.
Right.
We can't beat
And
him.
sometimes I think a change of scenery is just best.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that with the Phillies. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Andy
things-
Reid.
Yeah.
We can
just-
go on and on.
He's a fantastic coach, but sometimes change
Yeah.
of scenery is best.
And listen, again, I'm not anti AJ Brown. I just don't like. To me, actions speak louder than words. Like, first of all, he deserved a ton of credit for that 10-minute mental health post he did earlier this year, talking about mental health after I forget the guy who he died because he took his own life.
Right.
You know, the one guy, I forget
Yeah.
the receiver's name off the top of my head, but that was a very heartfelt post. Like, those are the kind of things that make you love the guy.
Right.
But then he goes on a Twitch stream in the middle of the season and complains about the offense and this. And then when the media asks him about it, they're like, "Oh, I love Kevin Patullo." It's like Kevin Patullo did, like when he said Kevin Patullo did a great job this year. I don't know about you guys. I wanted to punch the television. Like, I was like, no one in their right mind says Kevin Patullo did a great job except for AJ Brown.
That's great. And you're not wrong.
Listen, I'm the bad guy. You know, I
Yeah.
always, when I'm on with Mike Gill on the Sports Bash during the week on 97.3, you know, I'll take the bad guy position. You know, I'm you know, ever see the movie Scarface? You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you never meet a bad guy like this again. You know?
Right.
But back to the current team. So let's say AJ Brown isn't here. So you do like Mekhi Lemon, the draft pick.
I like it. Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason. I think he fell, and they had to go get him. And how he does his thing when
Well,
that,
you know why
when
he
that
fell.
happens. Well, they traded. Well, the Steelers were supposed to grab him, right?
Well, the Steelers were trying to.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Steelers are not going to get punished for violating NFL rules. But read into that what you will.
Right.
But no, he fell because he's a quirky guy.
Right.
He's got, you know, he does the whole, he sways when he talks, and you know, he likes to wear sunglasses inside because
Yeah.
apparently he's got some sort of like, you know, eye issue.
Oh, is that it?
You know,
Only when he's inside. It's amazing. He can play on a football field without, but he needs them everywhere else.
Does he have the dark visor? Do we know that yet?
he definitely wore the
He
dark
does?
visor at
Yeah.
USC.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like he's a quirky guy, and some teams viewed that as, oh, we don't know if he's really a football guy.
Okay.
But the Eagles, well, listen, I think we all can agree. The Eagles have the weirdest head coach in football. Can we agree on that?
He's a quirky guy.
He's
Yeah,
odd.
He is.
So
Doesn't hold
Sirianni
back.
probably found a
He
kindred.
doesn't.
He probably found a kindred spirit,
Right.
because Lemon's one of these guys. He's all ball. Like, he doesn't care about the other stuff. He's not the greatest, you know, interviewer. Like, he's awkward.
Right.
But you know what? If he goes out there and catches
If he
10
balls-
touchdowns, I don't
Listen,
care if he's awkward.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason why he went in the first round. He's
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's really good for our team. You know why?
Yes.
Because he goes over the middle. He plays over the middle. And when it's going to open it up for Smith now to
Right.
use his speed and go long.
Right.
Now you have Lemon and the tight end, who could be our guy from Vandy.
Eli Stowers,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If it all comes together, it's going to be one hell of an offense.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned about right now you got the Phillies on tap.
Yeah.
Over at the so how you feel about the Phillies?
I mean, they played a lot better these past few weeks. I think the confidence is back. I think, like we said earlier, I think a change of scenery sometimes is good for everybody. They seem to be playing good for Donnie, so we'll see.
Except this week.
Well, yeah, they fell a little bit, but they also had an easy schedule right after that firing.
That's
so
true.
That was a part of it. So I don't know.
I just
They
always
don't make you confident, I guess.
you know, I gotta ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike from Myers Lighthouse Brewing. Of course, you can get that right here at Boulevard Super Liquors here on Roosevelt Boulevard in Memorial, or you can visit them over on Route 9 in Ocean View, which for those who don't know, it's right down the street from the Super Wawa. It's
Yeah.
not hard to find, okay? I always find it weird that someone has to be fired because other people are not doing their job. Like, the concept's always weird to me. Like, for example, you know, let's say someone works for you.
Right.
Okay, over at Myers Lighthouse Brewing.
Right.
They spill the tap.
Okay.
They're serving a beer, they drop it on the ground.
Right.
You don't lose your job because they didn't do their job. You know, I've always been perplexed about why is sports the only world where the person who didn't do their job creates a dynamic for their boss to get fired.
Right. And now more than ever, right? Because
Right.
this didn't used to happen. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, something like that. You got to stick through some
You
of that
never got
stuff.
rid of the coach.
No.
We got to get rid of the player.
Right.
Now we pay him 30, 40 million. You can't get rid of him.
Right.
Can't get
That's
rid of
the
him.
problem.
Right.
They're making more than the coach.
Right. But we live in this time period now where I feel like people just get super impatient and they have to have the change and they do it. And I don't know why. I don't get it either.
Like this week, Don Mattingly told the media that apparently Bryce Harper does not like to hit the 2 hole.
Okay.
And you're just like
come on.
okay, like
Yeah.
what do I do with that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like Harper's the same guy who sits there and says, "I'll do whatever it takes to win."
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but you
But
don't want to be in the 2-hole.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's contradictory. Yeah.
Like it's weird stuff like that. Like baseball is such a weird sport to me. It's just so perplexing about like, you know, you have a game like last night. Christopher Sanchez has an amazing game, right? He's lights out. He goes 8 innings. He's shutting down the Indians, who are probably the best team in the American League Central.
Right.
Okay, so he shut their lineup down, and nobody in your team got excited enough to make contact.
Right. Right. And that's crazy. Yeah.
Listen, we keep going on, but Mike, we appreciate you jumping on with us.
Absolutely.
Again, tell everybody what they can find right here at Boulevard Super Liquors.
Absolutely. We are always going to have a nice Pilsner. We think the light beers are fantastic, and people are really gravitating towards them these days. We have a session, which is kind of your in the middle IPA, and then we have our hole in one, which is a heavier hazy IPA. And those are the three. We always have something in those categories for people. We find that those are the three most popular beers. And yeah, that's what we're always trying to improve. And if you guys are bored, come down, play some mini golf, and have a beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike, appreciate you jumping on with us.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Hanging with Hennig here, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors, 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Don't forget the 2 o'clock hour of Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by the law offices of Craig A. Altman, because let's be realistic, Memorial Day weekend, things happen. Okay, accidents happen. Maybe you're trying to get in and out of Ocean City. Maybe you're trying to get out of Boulevard Super Liquors, and maybe someone accidentally rear ends you. You know what? You got to have a lawyer who's going to make sure that you are taken care of, because the insurance companies, they have a game plan to make sure you don't get anything. You know what their game plan is? Delay, deny, pay as little as possible. So you got to make ssure whoever's on your side knows what they're doing. And that's the law office of Craig A. Altman right here in South Jersey, backed by a Philly law firm that knows how to win. 856-327-8899. Don't be embarrassed. Don't let an accident put a hole in your wallet, in your bank account, because the key is you don't pay anything unless they win. So listen, you see a lot of commercials on television with lawyers who say they have experience, but you know what? All that money goes to them being on a commercial on television. The law offices of Craig A. Altman are going to get you the money you deserve if you are injured in a car accident, a slip and fall, or a workplace injury. 856-327-8899, or visit them online at craigaltmanlaw.com. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. Streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Memorial Day on ESPN Radio. Two rivals collide in the NL Central.
Center field, and it is a Jordan Walker grand slam.
Jordan Walker leads the St. Louis Cardinals into American Family Field to go head-to-head with Jake Bauers and the Milwaukee Brewers.
Jake Bauers has done it.
The Cardinals and Brewers. Coverage begins Memorial Day at 1:30 Eastern. With first pitch at 2:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to Major League Baseball all season on 97.3 ESPN.
Planning a graduation party, a summer family gathering, Memorial Day weekend mixer. The one-stop shop where I go is Boulevard Super Liquors, located on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, if you're traveling down the Garden State Parkway, Boulevard Super Liquors is within minutes of exit 25. So you can jump off the exit and get back on the road within minutes. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey. These are just some of the reasons why my favorite stop is Boulevard Super Liquors, with the best selection at the Jersey Shore. Visit them on Instagram and Facebook to learn more about upcoming tasting events. Boulevard Super Liquors on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog or the Mary Ann sandwich. sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Go for the pulls, the putts, the payouts, and the poses. Go for the fun times and the tan lines. Go for the savory. Stay for the sweet. Celebrate the red, white, and blue. An experience in Atlantic City you never do. Go to Ocean. Go for the win. Book your trip at theoceanec.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, do you think it would save money? Because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
Beers keep coming, tails piled high with friends and family, spirits to the sky.
Make the trip to the Piccalilli Inn's Pig Patio for great food, good friends, and fun times in the Pines. Try fresh seafood like locally sourced oysters or clams on the half shell. Get your chicken wing fix on Route 206 in Chemung, New Jersey. Or for graduation parties, barbecues, or making dinner easy, visit Piccalilli.com.
Memorial Day savings are happening at the Home Depot. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select top brand appliances like Frigidaire. Plus, get free delivery. Upgrade your kitchen with a fridge with an extra large ice capacity, a stone-baked pizza oven, or a dishwasher offering an extra fast 50-minute normal wash cycle. Save on appliances this Memorial Day at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 14th through June 3rd. U.S. only. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more. See store online for details.
The biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history is at Tropicana Showroom, Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th, when undefeated Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper takes on undefeated Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr., plus New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo and Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III are both back in action inside Tropicana Atlantic City Showroom. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com for this can't-miss boxing event, Saturday, June 13th, Selden Jr. versus Popper, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. And, of course, don't forget Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards. That means no matter whether you bet on baseball, basketball, hockey, I mean, the things are just nuts right now in the basketball and hockey playoffs. But you know what? If you bet on all of it, you can earn rewards like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Use my promo code radio DYW, then place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. 10 chances to win only with Caesars Sportsbook. For more information, visit Caesars.com/promos for full details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, well, please, for all intents and purposes, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Josh Hennig hanging out with Mike Carlin. We go from one brewery in Cape County to another because joining us right now. Now, we're going to make fun of him because Billy was supposed to be here, but instead, Renee is sitting in. Of course, for those full disclosure, Renee and I used to work together.
That's true.
So this is probably going to be the easiest interview I've done all day. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you.
Can you tell us good stories about him?
I have great stories about him.
Okay. Maybe off the air?
He's a very good friend.
Okay.
Let me tell you, aside from being amazing at his job, he's
working
a
with him,
fantastic friend.
A couple of guys like me, we need some stuff on him that, only we know kind of thing.
See, my loyalty runs deep.
Oh, see? Good. That's all right then.
So Ludlam Island Brewing, we should mention, first of all, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. I mean, that's crazy.
It is crazy. Started so tiny, 2016.
Very tiny.
Billy and Larry had a dream to make some amazing beer, and then they met Joe LeLuc, who is our amazing brewer, and the rest is history. So now we're celebrating 10 years. We're at our new location on Dennisville-Petersburg Road, where the Mousetrap used to be. And we're a full restaurant now, have a full bar with local spirits.
Yep.
As well as being the amazing brewery that we've been since 2016.
Now, let's get to some of the things about, because the location you're at, anyone who's lived in South Jersey for a while remembers the old Mousetrap Bowling Alley. Well, that thing was basically closed and abandoned for years.
It was actually still open when Billy bought it.
Yeah. Didn't look open.
No one knew.
No one
knew. Yeah, no one knew.
Well, now it's open. It's Ludlam Island Brewing, and the food is amazing, by the way. We should always mention that the food is absolutely probably the most. People go to the brewery. Maybe the beer gets you in the door, but what keeps you in the door is the food, I would say.
I would say so, too. The food is fantastic. Our chef, Kirk, is amazing. He comes up with some great stuff. JP, also great stuff. We've got a fantastic team. We just added burgers to the menu, and they're fantastic brisket with beautiful chuck mixed together. Yeah, they hand grind it. We're actually going to put a video out next week about it. So yes, stick around and check that out on our social media.
Now, if for whatever reason, maybe you're in and around Ocean City, you can't make it out to Ludlam this weekend, but you can make it over here to Boulevard Super Liquors. People can still come down to sign up to win the Devontae Smith signed helmet or the Cooper DeJean jersey presented by Bird Gang Spirits. One of the brews that is in stock here is Water Gun and Rainbows, the best seller here at Boulevard Super Liquors. What else do you have in stock here?
We've got Green Gobbler in stock. We've got Lawn Chairs, I believe, over there. Fish Alley. They've got quite a few beers of ours here at Boulevard Super Liquors. They're one of our favorite places, so we love it here. We definitely love seeing you guys come here and buy Ludlam beer. It's terrific. And we are right down the road. We're only 10 minutes down the road.
Exactly. Well, that's why it's one of those cool things where it's like, listen, if you can't make it to one, you stop by the other.
Exactly.
You know, it's a symbiotic relationship.
It sure is.
So I got to ask you, because we do have the Eagles stuff here.
Of course.
How do you feel? I mean, you're wearing a Ludlam green jacket. I mean,
course.
You're on brand per usual. So what do you feel about the Eagles?
I mean, there's nothing bad to say about Philly sports this year, right? We just have to keep riding that train of good vibes for all Philly sports, especially the Phillies right now too. Just saying,
They lost again last night.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Eagles are going to have a great year, I think, this year for sure.
Now, if we were to channel Billy through you, what do you think Billy would say to that question?
Billy would say, "Go Birds." That's pretty much how we say hello and goodbye to each other. Go Birds.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I was going to ask Mike from Myers, but I didn't. So now here, like I told Mike, I'm still learning this craft beer segment.
Okay. Yeah.
Who comes up with all these names for the beers?
So it's kind of a collective effort usually. The brewers have a lot to say for sure. They usually throw this stuff out there. but it's kind of everyone usually kicks in a little bit.
Throws
Some of
something.
our like flagship beers, you know, I don't really know the origin of Water Guns and Rainbows of why they called it that, but I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic beer.
Somebody's surfboard or this or that. It's just things like certain things just
We get
click.
creative.
Yeah.
We get creative for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
So it's all part of marketing then.
It is. Absolutely.
You know what? It's the creativity is what makes it fun.
It's true.
It's the reason why you go to a place and you look at the menu, like at Ludlam Island Brewing, and you walk in and you see all these things in the menu, and you're like, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try like literally it's all usually because of the name. You don't even care about the rest of it.
Very enticing names. That's true.
Now, if you come into Boulevard Super Liquors and you walk up to the staff and you say, I want this kind of beer, then they'll direct you to maybe like a Water Guns and Rainbows or a Green Gobbler.
Sure.
So it's like kind of like a different, almost like talking about terms like different customers that each one targets toward.
It's true. Like our last minute shandy is like the summer beach beer.
It is.
That's my wife's beer.
Yeah.
Summer shandy or
That
something like that.
that is the ladies' choice beer, I would say.
Nah, that's
for
not true.
sure.
I drink it too.
I do too.
Everyone drinks it, but I'm most women
I have a lot
that
of
come
female
in.
in me, so I drink it too. Or Blue Moon, doesn't matter. Trust me. I've been told many times.
No, it's and it's not even that. It's literally that women really order that a lot, and I think it's because it's a little lighter. You can actually have a couple more than you would if you were drinking Water Guns and Rainbows for sure. You know, it's a lower ABV, so it's a great summer drink. And you and I have talked about this before. It's fantastic beer to drink on the beach.
Oh, it's perfect beer at the beach. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had brought it to the beach myself. It's just incredible. All right, before we let you go, because I know you're a busy bee. Okay, if someone has never had Ludlam Island Brewing before, and they're walking in here to Boulevard Super Liquors, they're coming in here to sign up to win the Devontae Smith helmet, the Cooper DeJean jersey, and they're like walking like, I heard about this Ludlam Island Brewing. What do you want someone who's never had it before to know?
Well, first of all, we have a large selection, different types of beer. So it's not just the hazy IPAs like Water Guns, but that you expect from a craft beer. You know, I really like New Jersey is a fantastic lighter end beer.
To try. Because I'm a Coors Light guy.
Yeah,
I'm still learning this phase.
There you
Is
go.
that what you would push me to?
I would actually push you to Salvatore Italian Pilsner.
I was gonna
'cause
say-
that's my personal favorite.
I'll say either that or
It's
Lawn
fantastic
Chairs.
beer. Lawn Chairs is another great one.
Okay.
But we have such a wide selection and something for everyone. And Ludlam also has, like I said, a full bar. So if you're not a beer drinker and you come over to Ludlam, you can get cocktails or mocktails and, you know, live your best life.
That's true. Live your best life.
Yeah.
Hanging with Hennig here, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors on 97.3 ESPN. Renee, sitting in for Billy
That's right.
from Ludlam Island Brewing. We appreciate you taking a few minutes to hang out with us.
No problem. As their marketing director, I am more than happy to always talk about how phenomenal it is because I love it there. I mean, it's an amazing place.
And what's not to love?
And it's super welcoming too, which I don't think a lot of people realize down here. There's you know, some places that are very tourist directed,
Yes.
and Ludlam is a very down home feel. So if
It's
you want to
more-
go
it's more
someplace,
local
right,
vibe
very
than it
local
is,
vibe.
You know, and again, we're not trying to throw anybody particular
No,
under the bus,
of course
but
not.
there are some establishments in this area who will go unnamed because, you know, this is my show and I can do what I want here on
That's
97.3
right. That's right,
ESPN.
buddy.
But those establishments, you can tell when you walk in, they're not for the locals. They're not for the regulars. They're there just to suck you dry financially and, you know, be gone with thee at the end of the evening.
And we're for everyone, for sure.
Exactly.
We're for
Nice.
we love everyone at Ludlam.
Absolutely. Renee, good stuff today. Good
Yeah,
seeing you.
thank you. Fantastic seeing you too. We'll have to get together again soon.
Yeah, well, you gotta tell Billy though.
I will. He
He's
was
not-
very upset that he was missing this today,
He's
but
not that busy.
he's slammed today. So
He's slammed.
So I fill in for sure. And I'm happy to fill Billy's shoes. It's an honor.
Well, there's probably no one better to do it. Let's be realistic.
That's probably true.
You probably
I'm not
know more
gonna-
than he does.
No, I wouldn't say that. Not about beer for sure. Definitely not about beer.
Maybe the marketing part of it.
Marketing for sure.
There we go.
But,
100%.
but when it comes to the beer itself, I leave that to Joey and Billy and Brian.
Absolutely.
They've got that covered.
Ludlam Island Brewing, again, you can catch them. They're over in Woodbine is where the main location is for the food and drink. But make sure you come down here to Boulevard Super Liquors. You can get water guns and rainbows, green gobbler, and more over there in the fridge. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle. Don't forget, Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by the biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey history. Not one, but two undefeated heavyweights in action. Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper taking on Absegami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr. Both are undefeated. One must lose. You want to find out who? Well, you got to be there Saturday, June 13th, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Also in the fight card, New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo, along with Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III. They're all back in action inside Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Tickets on sale now, Ticketmaster.com. Selden Jr. versus Popper, the ultimate South Jersey heavyweight showdown. The undefeateds go head-to-head Saturday, June 13th, Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Tickets on sale now, Ticketmaster.com, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions. Final segment coming up here on Hang with Hennig. Just a few more minutes for you to come down here and sign up to win a Cooper DeJean signed jersey or a Devontae Smith signed helmet, presented by Bird Gang Spirits here on 97.3 ESPN.
There's so much to discover in Sea Isle. For one delicious weekend, our local restaurants are showcasing their best flavors and creative specials. From casual bites to sit-down dinners, there's something for everyone. Places you already love and others you've been meaning to try. Dine in, try something new. Visit your favorites. Sea Isle Restaurant Weekend, June 5th through the 7th.
For 23 years, we've helped athletes at all levels of Clemic Performance Method, from youth to pros, increase maximum velocity, acceleration, vertical leaps, and general physical preparedness. We offer youth, high school, and pro college classes. Our proven results have earned national recognition from NFL coaches, sponsors, and a feature on ESPN Radio's Sports Science segment. You can contact me directly at 609-742-6190, or as always, visit us on our website, ClemicPerformanceMethod.com.
Is your trade stopping you from shopping? We need your trade in today, and we're willing to overpay at Maplet Nissan and Maplet Infinity. Get up to $4,000 over Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value for any trade in any condition. Come see us today at Maplet Nissan and Maplet Infinity on the Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
AI can turn your lights on and even write your kid's essay. But AI isn't going to make sure your home's air conditioning is ready for spring temps. There's nothing artificial about the peace of mind you get with a professional AC tune-up from HomeServe. And having a local expert technician service your system, just $99 for a limited time, is quite intelligent. Offer ends May 31st, so schedule today at homeservesj.com.
Service provided by Frank Siderio Jr., Master HVAC R Contractor, license number 19HC002115000. Plumbing by Louis Sokowski. Plumbing license number 36B IO1292700.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet every game like a Caesar and earn perks on every bet. Hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, all in one app. Download the app with promo code RADIO-DYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bet. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Come celebrate Ventnor Social's 1-year anniversary. Down Beach's go-to place for game days. No shower happy hours, beach nights, live music, great food, cold drinks, and being social. From cheering on Phillies baseball team and other sports action on their 20 big screen TVs, to enjoying a cold beverage on the roof deck, to playing an arcade game. Plus, game day food and wing specials. Celebrate Ventnor Social, Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor. Check out their Facebook page for the latest specials and events.
Memorial Day savings are happening at the Home Depot. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select top brand appliances like Frigidaire. Plus, get free delivery. Upgrade your kitchen with a fridge with an extra large ice capacity, a stone-baked pizza oven, or a dishwasher offering an extra fast 50-minute normal wash cycle. Save on appliances this Memorial Day at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 14th through June 3rd. U.S. only. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more. See store online for details.
The biggest heavyweight showdown in South Jersey boxing history is at Tropicana Showroom, Atlantic City, Saturday, June 13th, when undefeated Holy Spirit High School graduate Josh Popper takes on undefeated Apsagami High School graduate Bruce Selden Jr., plus New Jersey Super Bantamweight John Leonardo and Pleasantville Super Lightweight Julio Sanchez III are both back in action inside Tropicana Atlantic City Showroom. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com for this can't-miss boxing event, Saturday, June 13th, Selden Jr. versus Popper, only at Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City, presented by Boxing Insider Promotions.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I want my picks back. I want David Putnam.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
All my picks back, and I want David Putnam just because I feel like it. You're out of your mind. Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already?
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
What we were talking about when we had Dave Jr. and Senior on, it's a community business here.
Yeah. Right.
They're helping everybody in the community. They're not just worrying about themselves.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, when I came in to do the tour of the liquor store, obviously I've been in here prior, but when I met with Dave Jr., he said she's like family, and treat her like family, and so I appreciate that, and I do everything I can to make sure my display is fully stocked and loaded and ready to go.
So really quick. So again, fruit of the spirits, cocktail fruit.
Yes.
So the idea is that you dehydrate the fruit.
Yep.
And you sell it in these nice little packages.
Thank you. Yes. So it's a quite simple process. We're washing our fruit really well in the most superior way that we can. Make sure we get all the gunk off the fruit, right. And we're slicing it commercially and dehydrating it for 16, 17 hours, depending on the fruit. Blood oranges take up to 18 hours. Limes take up to 18 hours. Apples take 11 to 15 hours to dehydrate. It's a process. But the great thing is I can take a nap while they're dehydrating.
Once I open that bag, how am I keeping it?
As long as it's in a cool, dry place, you can have
Okay,
that
so
for
it
up
doesn't
to
have
a
to be
year.
refrigerated or
No,
anything like that.
no, no. Once all the juices and moisture are out of the fruit, it lasts up to a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so again, people can get this right here at Boulevard Super Liquors.
Yes.
And so for you, is there a favorite one of these that you have that you would put into
Blood
a drink?
orange. I would put blood orange in a beer. It's
In a beer, okay.
I don't drink beer, but I would. I would if there was a blood orange in
Okay.
it. Yeah, the
Well,
color.
I do drink beer, so I mean,
Okay.
that's why I'm asking.
Yes.
Well, I drink everything.
Yeah. The color, the vibrant colors of a blood orange are absolutely fascinating to me. Sometimes I'll slice a blood orange and it'll be pink. Sometimes it'll be yellow. Sometimes it'll be orange. Sometimes it'll be magenta. So blood orange is hands down my favorite.
Because I mean, I would be fascinated by the blood orange and like a bourbon.
Yep.
Or something like that. Just kind of give it like a different vibe to like the drink.
Yes. So if you're having like a vodka soda or a tequila and soda, you can put any fruit in and you're going to taste and smell the fragrance of the fruit.
Right.
But if you're doing like a blood orange margarita, you're not going to feel that blood orange, but you're going to see it in your drink
Right.
and you're just going to feel a whole lot better about life.
Well, it sounds like something cool you do for the summer, for example.
Absolutely.
You know, you put some
Christmas
ice in
time.
it, put a drink. Well, there's Christmas time
Yeah.
too. But, you know, on a day like today when it's cloudy outside,
Yeah.
maybe you brighten up your day by putting this in your drink.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're elevating your whole entire happy hour experience, whether that's at noon for you or if it's at 5 o'clock for you.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
listen, we appreciate you cutting out some time to join us here.
Thank you.
Again, you can get Fruit of the Spirits fruit cocktail right here at Boulevard Super Liquors because you can make your party, your get together, your sit down, dinner date, whatever you're doing. Just make it better.
Absolutely.
Make it better. It's the whole idea.
Awesome.
Well,
Appreciate
thank
you.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. I'm going to check back in on the text board here at 609-403-09. So we get texts throughout the show. So let me get to some of them. And shout out to Alex, who's doing a great job back in the 97.3 ESPN studios, setting everything up for us. Here you go. Make sure you have your stuff back, you know, do the little presentation stuff. We got a bunch of texts that have been coming in throughout the show. When you get to them, Joey D. Inventor says, I can attest that you do drink everything. Thanks, Joey. By the way, speaking of drinking everything, you can come on down. Ludlam Island is having a tasting this afternoon as well here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Don't forget about that as well. You can try out what Ludlam Island has to offer right here at Boulevard Super Liquors. More text coming in at 609-403-0973. Daniel, by the way, followed up with his Eagles opinion. He says, Jalen Hurts is the system quarterback. The only good thing about him is the team around him. See, I hate that attitude because, see, Daniel, you're the kind of person who I can tell doesn't actually understand football, that you're just repeating what you heard somebody else say. Here's why I say that. In order to be a system quarterback, that means that anybody in your theory can do what he does. And so if anyone can do what he does, then why has Jalen Hurts been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years and Kirk Cousins hasn't? Jared Goff hasn't. Deshaun Watson never did. How about we throw in there CJ Stroud, Tua Tagovailoa, Baker Mayfield? You want me to keep going? Daniel, I can do this all day. Okay, I'm Captain America. I can rock with this, all right? I can low you down. You can't call someone a system quarterback who's actually done something that other system quarterbacks haven't done, number one. Number two, you sound like the kind of person, something like Jalen Hurts, that doesn't fit the prototype, okay? He doesn't look like Justin Herbert. Well, you know what? A cover of a book can be deceiving. Someone can look good, but doesn't mean they are good. You can go to Boulevard Super Liquors. You can grab yourself a drink. You can bring it to your house, and you can sit there on your porch, and you can see somebody walking past, and then you realize that that individual isn't who you thought they were. These are all things that are problematic, okay? You can't judge someone just because he looks a certain way. So it's a bad job by you, Daniel. But you know what? We appreciate you texting in on 97.3 ESPN. Couple more texts that came in throughout the show you want to squeeze in. David in Vineland chimes in. He says, here it is. He says, Dallas Cowboys stink. Why? Because 30 years of history says they choke in big games. That's how you start losing, is you keep losing as well, says David in Vineland. He goes on to say, Rob Thompson's firing when you look back on the Phillies' performance tells me there's a problem within the organization that comes from the top down, placing blame on everyone. Well, it is placing blame on everyone because Dave Dombrowski keeps saying we have a good ball club. Well, last time I checked, your ball club ain't that good, Dave Dombrowski. Mr. High and Mighty Know-It-All. I know you're going to the Hall of Fame one day, but I'll need you to tell me how to live my life, Dave Dombrowski. I really can't stand that guy. He's such a pompous schmuck. That's the thing I can say on the radio. I can't say what I really feel about
Remember, when it's your show, you can say whatever you want.
Well, I can say it until the FCC gets involved and fines me. I can't pay that right now. By the way, hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. We are here at Boulevard Super Liquors, but also next Saturday we will be at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Shout out to Angie. She's going to be going out there as well. We'll be at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Mike Gill, the Sports Bash on Friday from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN. I'll be there 12 to 3 next Saturday. And the week after, we will be in Seattle City for Seattle Restaurant Weekend, the perfect way to kick off the summer season in South Jersey. A weekend filled with exclusive specials from some of South Jersey's best restaurants, from casual bites to elevated dining. Check out the full list of the 26 restaurants participating in Seattle Restaurant Weekend, June 5th to the 7th, right now at SeattleChamber.com. That's June 5th to the 7th. We will be there for Hanging with Hennig Broadcasting Live. So I'll be on the road for a couple more times here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, before we get out of here, I did want to play at least one audio cut because we've just been slam-packed. So Vic Fangio, who is, God's gift to Eagle fans, basically. The man is just truth serum. Vic Fangio made an interesting comment that I think has been taken a little bit out of context. So he was asked about the safety position. I want to play this cut because I'm seeing a lot of the social media aggregators get this completely and utterly wrong.
It's open. I think Marcus is someone that will have put up good claim to it. In base, it will be Cooper. When we go to nickel and Coop comes up and plays nickel, it'll be Epps. We're taking a good look at Michael Carter back there. Who else am I forgetting? Yeah, Andre Sam. And then we signed an undrafted free agent, Gush. JT Gray has been mainly a special teams player, but, he'll get a look. So we'll look at all those guys. It's an open competition.
Now, the question was about the second safety position. But for some reason, people are turning this into, see, Cooper DeJean's going to be the starting safety. He didn't say that at all. What he said was that he'll be one of the safeties in base package. So sure, when you're playing a team that, for example, has 3 tight ends, he'll go in that package. He'll be on the field. But in a situation where you have 3 or 4 wide receivers, he'll be a nickel, because Fangio went on to say that we don't have anyone to play nickel aside from Cooper DeJean. So this attitude that people keep trying to pigeonhole the Eagles defense into, this is what Cooper DeJean is doing. Y'all need to show, okay?
Let Vic do his job.
Fangio knows he's probably forgotten more football than we know.
Yep.
Okay, I am not going to tell Vic Fangio how to run his defense, and everybody else shouldn't either, Mike.
Yeah, Vic, Vic is not a new guy on the block. Vic knows what he's doing. Just let him do his job, okay? And just move forward. There's a reason why we're one of the top defenses in the league.
Year in and year out.
Yeah, so I hate hearing stuff. That's just a waste of time.
It really is. But, I love the fact that Fangio is so brutally honest. He'll answer any question. It's absolutely beautiful. All right. Incredible day here. By the way, Mike Carlin, thank you for everything today. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Shout out to Alex back in the 97.3 ESPN studios for all of his help. Okay, we got Ted from Bird Gang Spirits. Thank you to him for joining us today. Cooper DeJean, jersey, Devontae Smith helmet, Bird Gang Spirits sold right here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Dave Sr. and Dave Jr. joined us on the show today on 97.3 ESPN. Also, shout out to Renee from Ludlam Island Brewing, Mike from Myers Lighthouse Brewing, as well as Frank from Let's Be Frank, as well as Craig Pellegrini from the NASCAR racer from Let's Be Frank.
And we had a big helper, Eric, here from Ocean City High.
Thank you to Eric as well. And thanks everybody for listening on 97.3 ESPN FM and watching on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends at Josh Hennig.
This weekend in the locker with Billy's wine producer Alex Berardis and my intern Erin Ewing will be with me.
All right. We are still live on the YouTube only stream. As I said earlier in the show, we are going to announce the winners of the prizes exclusively on the YouTube stream. So, Mike, if you can hand me the other sheet over there. This is such a scientific process we have going on here. So, I have not looked at the names on this list. Okay, I just want to verify that.
Me either.
So, I need Mike Carlin to give me a number between 1 and 70. 1 and 70.
Let's go with 5.
5. All right. Number 5 is we have, here it is, Scott from Ocean View. So Scott in Ocean View, you are the winner of the Devontae Smith signed helmet. Give me the next number.
What do you say we go with 56?
56. That would be Chris in Ocean City. Chris in Ocean City gets the Cooper DeJean jersey.
How will they get them now?
So they must come down the Boulevard Super Liquors.
Okay.
They must come to the store. They will have them just come up. They'll have their information behind the desk here with the staff, and they will hold the items for people to come pick them up again. Shout out to Scott in Ocean View.
And we do have a phone number that we can call them, correct?
Yes, we have a phone number. I will follow up with each person individually, Chris in Ocean City. But if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you want to know if you won, that's how you know you won. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and signing up for the show today. We'll be back here throughout the summer as well, so stay tuned to Hanging with Hennig on YouTube and X. Remember, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Be safe, everyone, this weekend. It is wet and raining outside. Take care, and we will catch you next Saturday for Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN.